And boom.
Yeah, I need to sell some items.
Okay, so you guys are currently in the town of Greenest. Oh, look at that. Just fit it. Just fit the town.
I feel like I'm in a really old Super Nintendo game. Nah.
Or early PlayStation.
Okay, so the last time that we left you guys off, you were able to capture Mondak. You also brought 2 dragon eggs back to town. One of them hatching that same night. Kale was in the room as a witness to this dragon hatching, and the little wormling actually imprinted onto him. Had a very nice, touching moment, naming this this little wormling Droop in honor of his fallen pseudo son. And so you are presented with the task of now raising this dragon and still having to transport this other dragon egg, or leaving it in town for Nighthill, the obviously not very racist against dragons governor of this town. But yeah, so you guys can decide what to do. What you know so far is that all the treasure that the Cult of the Dragon has amassed in the last few weeks is now being moved somewhere north, along the trade way. You know that they are heading for a particular area, but you don't know how they're getting there or how much of this treasure is actually on the road. So you hear some rumors around town that all of a sudden there's a large set of wagons heading north. They may very well be the wagons you're looking for, but you have no way of knowing. The Cult of the Dragon's very, very sneaky and very intelligent. It's gonna be very difficult to find them.
Sneaky.
Sneakers.
We know where they're going.
Yes. Does anybody remember where they're going?
Neratar.
Neratar. Perfect. Okay. So.
My nuts are amazing.
Amazing. So you know that they're heading north to Neratar. Leosin was in town recovering from his wounds after being beaten and tortured in the raiders' camp. As you awaken that morning, Nighthill informs you that Leosin has officially left town. He walks up to you and saying that the monk, although was still rather injured, had pressing matters to attend to in a small town just north of here, the town of El Turel. This might be a little bit familiar to Tam, considering that she's played a lot of Baldur's Gate. So, but before he left, he ensured that you will be well taken care of, and he actually dropped off enough horses and provisions so that you can make your way up north. You don't really need to take the caravan with you. He purchased enough goods, provisions, and transportation for you to head north as a thank you for everything you've done for him.
So I have individual
Monk
horses?
have?
How much money does he have?
Yeah, I thought he was a monk.
He is a monk.
It's a rich monk.
Yeah, don't let Josh fool you.
Well, I think monks are capable of a lot of things, but they don't drink their money away.
Yeah. Or be hermits and just walk around and not do anything.
He wants us to follow him.
To El Terrell.
El Terrell. So so if you remember your last conversation with Leosin, he did speak that he does have a friend in that town. He's a paladin of Torm.
Oh.
So you may want to, if you would like, you can follow Leosin over to that town or city.
Is it on the way to Neratar?
I can actually take you guys over here to the world map, so you can see where everything is in relation to each other. So we have. Oh wait, I just realized you guys don't have any names on your map, do you?
Any what?
Oh, what the hell? That's weird. Mine has names. Yours doesn't. I guess all these names are on the GM layer. Oh, they are. Okay, so here I'm gonna bring this up. Hold on. So you guys should see some names pop up real soon.
The Sword Coast Adventures.
Do you see anything?
No.
Really? Because I see something. Go to the south of the map. You should see the town
Oh,
of Greenest.
Greenest. Yeah, I see Greenest.
Oh, yes.
So if you actually... Okay, cool. So I can
yep,
do this.
there we go.
Oh, that's so cool. These maps are so amazing. Okay, never had to do that. I honestly thought you guys saw the same thing. So if you notice, I've just revealed the location of Baldur's Gate. That is obviously a major trading port along the Sword Coast. To anybody who's read anything about Dungeons and Dragons or anything about the Forgotten Realms knows that Baldur's Gate is a very, very well-known location.
Play the games.
Yes. So, so I'm going to show you where Leosin is. You can easily get directions to the small town of El Turel. He was heading to Burdusk. Burdusk is actually very close by, which is why he was in this town. It was a very, very, very close stop nearby. And let's see where you guys are heading.
We want to know where Neyratar is.
Neyratar. Oh gosh,
Yeah.
did I lose it on the map? I think I lost it on the map, guys. But yeah, so here, let me show you. This is actually the tradeway. So if I hit this long strip of land is the tradeway.
Long strip of land.
Or a long strip of road. Do you see this? You see if you notice at the middle of the map?
Yeah.
This entire road right here. All of this is the tradeway.
This one?
Yeah. So can you see?
No.
Can you see my thing?
No.
Yeah.
No.
Oh my god! I just realized something.
What?
Wait, can you see my thing now?
Yes, now I
Yeah.
can.
Oh my god! If I do the ruler on the GM layer, you guys can't see my ruler.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this entire thing right here is the tradeway. That is gonna be where you're where you're heading to.
Wait, but where's Neyratar?
You know, I'm trying to find it on the map.
Yeah.
That's right, but where is it?
We should take. Baldur's Gate is right there.
Baldur's Gate is
But
right there.
What's up,
I
Sam?
think-
Wanna go there?
Well, I'm just saying.
We need to figure out where Neyratar is first because Greenest was like half destroyed, which means that if we don't get to where we need to go quickly, those cultists are going to destroy the next town.
Can you spell
They've
that?
been destroying things all over this place. Greenest
Yeah.
is just the one we knew about. Why isn't anybody doing anything?
Because
what I'm
that's what
saying.
we're here for. This is why the bog was here.
But you know, this is an army.
Yeah, but this is they've been doing towns that are kind of like away from any
Yeah.
major.
That's.
but
I
now
mean,
we
I want to
know.
go to Baldur's Gate because we could probably get a lot of really cool stuff, but they already have 5 days ahead of us. I think we should get to El Turel, pick up that paladin, and then go slay a dragon.
Yeah.
Dragon
depending.
Lady.
It depends on where Neyratar is. If Neyratar is close to Baldur's Gate, I say
Um,
go to Baldur's Gate.
I have given you the location of Neyratar, right?
Oh wait, yes, you told Mondath told us where it was, and we have a map. Like we
Yes,
legit
west-
have a map
west-
that tells us where to go.
It's an arrow from the green fields towards the west and to the town of Baragos on the tradeway where the arrow turns north. A separate sheet of paper that is covered with numerals and columns contains a note. Everything must be freighted north to Neyratar. So we are actually gonna head over to Baragos.
Now?
I'm gonna show you
We
where
haven't-
Baragos.
Oh yeah, I was like, we haven't left. We're still in Greenest. I still got shit I gotta get done.
Yeah, no, I know, but I'm showing you guys the map.
If you're doing something, we can't see it.
I'm doing it now.
There you go. Baragos. What's Baragos
Yeah, so
for again?
so Baragos is where that map led you to, so it's within this vicinity that you're going to find Neyratar.
Okay, so we can either go to El Turel and get the paladin, or we can try to go to Baragos near Neyratar and stop the cultists.
Yes. So keep in mind that these horses and provisions were purchased so that you can meet Leosin in that town.
Which in El Turel,
Yeah.
Yes, in El Turel.
we could go to El Turel, pick up the paladin, go to Baldur's Gate, and then flank them.
Okay.
What do you guys think?
They said they were gonna stay
Right, but they're not
Re-
expecting
Reatar,
us.
right?
Yeah, well, they said they were gonna go to Neratar, but we have Mondath.
But are they staying there, or will they just go there, do what they need to do, and then leave?
I don't know, but we can have Mondath send a letter or something, right? No, we have no way of getting it to them. We need to talk to Mondath and see what the plan is. 'Cause
She
if
didn't
Mondath-
know
I mean,
much.
she already told us.
Yeah, she
told us
said
what
didn't tell her.
Well, she doesn't know if they're gonna hold there or not. We don't know if she knows that. Because we just asked, what are they doing?
I'm pretty sure we asked her, like,
Did we? I don't. Let me look. Rosemary did not tell them how close they were. They all went up north. It's on the parchment. They are a 5-day journey away. Yeah. She didn't tell us anything about that. I didn't write anything. We can always ask again.
okay.
Doesn't hurt. So, Elturel, Baldur's Gate, Baragos.
Yeah, sounds like a plan.
Okay.
We can let people know along the way that there's some shit going down.
We can make like a small army.
Because
it.
Or you guys can
Like-
end up recruiting spies.
I'm not saying like bring 1 billion people with us. We don't need no more doppelgangers.
My job is to make sure that you guys know the repercussions of your actions.
Yeah. I'm just saying,
We can just find people that we trust.
at least the powers that be in Baldur's Gate need to be aware that to
Yeah.
the south is a cult trying to summon the freaking Queen of Dragons
I
to
have
take over.
I have someone who I might be able to get help from in Baldur's Gate. So, just
And who is that?
I can't tell everybody else.
Okay, then text it to me.
Okay.
We don't know each other that well.
Sorry.
Okay.
I typed it really fast, so there's probably a couple of misspellings. I'm pretty sure I put Baldurd instead of Baldurs. I like this music.
That's a Dark Cloud.
I looked as Wild Arms.
Oh, it is? Ah,
Yeah.
that's
I
why.
was like, this is so familiar
Yeah.
to me. Where the hell did I hear this? And I look, this is Wild Arms. Like, yep,
Alright.
there it is.
So I'm right, Carlos.
They can be in any location, to be honest.
Okay. They didn't teach me how to find them. Ah. Okay, I'll figure it out. I think I have some friends, guys. We will find out, though. I'm just gonna start yelling random stuff out. Just,
I think he's your thieves can't. Is that what you're trying to say?
huh? Just these can't everywhere. Ah! I never said they were thieves.
I know that. No, I don't think. Is it only thieves that know thieves can't?
It's all the people in the Thieves Guild and the Rogue Guilds, yes.
Okay, but not thieves, rogues as well.
I mean, I'm not in a Thieves Guild, so maybe not all of them, but it's pretty much the majority. People who take up a life of crime. Which I did, sorta, in a way. You don't know that, though, because you haven't talked to my character. Alright. Let's do this. Carlos,
Yes.
take us back to Greenest.
You will end up back here in Greenest.
Alright. So how, are you gonna tell us who's gonna go first, or?
Go first in what?
we all have stuff to get done.
Okay. You guys can just take turns.
You go first, Jordan.
What would you like to do in town?
Is there an apothecary?
There is no apothecaries in this town. The town is still recovering. All they have are basic provisions.
Oh, they just got a set of provisions. I'm
Yeah.
gonna go to the provisions.
Okay.
Wherever that is. So take me there. Are you giving me control of my character?
I can just say that you are there. It's okay.
Alright.
We don't have to move an icon every single time.
Sweet. All right, I walk in.
Okay. You walk
Hello.
in. You see a stout little human man. He kind of just turns around. And he's just like, "Yes, welcome to my provision shop."
Oh, hello. Sorry. I'm looking for a couple of things.
Okay. I don't know what I can offer you, but you know, you're free to have a
Governor
look around.
Governor Nighthill told me that you recently received a few provisions.
A few basic things, things to help the people in this town.
You wouldn't be able to perhaps have a couple of healing potions.
Healing potions. Yeah, I actually have a
Yes.
few over here. Got a fresh shipment. Got about 4 that
Four?
I can spare.
How much?
Well, I normally sell them for about 50 gold pieces each.
Okay.
They're just regular healing potions, though. I'm not sure what that's gonna do for you.
Perhaps I could give you 100 gold pieces and one of these stones. And I take out one of the precious stones that's worth 100 gold pieces each.
And he looks at the stone. He's like, "Well, it's a very pretty stone. I can't do much with this. We're in a state of rebuilding. We need currency."
All right. I'll take the 4.
Okay, so he hands you the 4 potions. You hand him 200 gold pieces, and he kind of just like looks at you with like a look of excitement. He's like, "This is gonna go a long way to helping me rebuild my my shop."
Whatever can help us or help you.
Is there anything else that you need?
Yes. I hand him another 10 gold pieces and get the things that I need for my familiar spell.
Okay. He he hands you a nice solid pouch. How many are you buying of each?
I'm just buying 10 gold pieces worth.
Okay. So he hands you a nice small pouch with exactly what you need to start summoning your familiar. And go down the list.
You wouldn't happen to have any diamonds, would you?
Oh, diamonds. No, that's actually one of the first things these raiders took when
Dear.
they ransacked our entire town.
Alright. Was looking for a friend.
Oh, I'm sure eventually we'll have some diamonds here, but for now, we're not a mining town. We don't really have a lot of ores.
It's alright, perfectly understandable. You wouldn't have perhaps any information.
Information? What are you looking for?
Well, do you have anybody who can work with weaponry, perhaps make poisons or anything like that?
Well, I know there's a smithy in town somewhere, unless he's dead.
Oh dear.
I haven't
Not really sure.
I haven't seen him in a few days, but maybe he's in the keep. Who knows?
But he can't make poisons, can he?
Poisons?
Yes.
Oh, I thought you wanted to dip things in poison.
I mean, I did. I mean, I have venom sacs from the wyvern, which I'm pretty sure I can use to make a poison, right?
Yes. So he actually tells you that as of right now, he doesn't know of any apothecaries or anyone else in town who will be able to mix poisons or potions for you. He kind of sends you in the direction of some of the larger settlements around Greenest, letting you know that like they're a couple days travel away, but you may have more luck up either to the north or to the west.
All right. Well, thank you. I appreciate all your help.
Yep. Have a nice
All right.
day.
Have a wonderful day. I walk back to the keep. As I'm doing that, can I just kind of survey how the village looks?
Yeah.
Like, are there... Do people look okay? Are they sad?
People
scared?
are a lot happier, and as you glance around the town, you can actually see Lift walking around with his bag of holding, just handing people pots and pans, forks and knives, all the things that he stuffed in there from your last trek in there, and he's just kind of like as he hands it to the men are really grateful, and as he hands it to the women, they're kind of like swooning at his mere appearance, and then some of the men are actually swooning a little bit too. But it seems as if they're much better spirits.
Perfect.
Yeah, the town itself, while a large amount of it was ransacked, a lot of the buildings are still intact. Just basic repairs will get the town back up and running, but they do need some time.
All right. I go back. I'm gonna go in and check on, not really Kale, but where Kale is, and look at the other dragon egg.
Okay.
And I'm just gonna sit down next to it, and I'm gonna whisper, "I told you I'd keep you safe."
Okay, and as you get closer to this egg, you can kind of feel like a small amount of heat emitting from this egg. And when you say these words, you can kind of see the egg just kind of like shake just slightly.
I'm gonna put my hand on it, and I'm gonna sing a lullaby.
Okay.
I'm gonna go, "Little Cushy sits by the old elf tree. Merry, merry king of the forest is he. Laugh, little Cushy, laugh. Little Cushy, happy your life must be."
And with that song, you're going to see a small kind of like opening crack through the top of this egg as this thing just hurls itself out of it immediately and then jumps onto the floor screaming. And it's just...
Oh dear!
And it's just screaming at the top of his lungs. At this point, Kale and his dragon are just like, oh, Jesus Christ.
I pick it up, and I cradle in my arms, and I keep singing to the next verse.
Yeah. And as you do that, it's kind of just like purring in your arms, or what feels like a purr, as it starts like kind of like spitting out small bits of acid onto the floor.
Oh dear. Not on me, right?
No, not on you, towards the floor.
Okay, yes. Can I tell if it's a boy or a girl?
Right now, it is in no state for you to find out whether it's a boy or a girl, but it does seem a lot more slender than the one that Kale has. So from your...
Probably a girl.
Yeah, so you can do a nature check if you like.
Sure. That's a 13, and I think my nature's +2. Let me check. +3, 16.
Okay, so you can tell by its not so gentle nature that it is indeed a black dragon still, but it seems as if it's a girl. From it starts kind of like bolting out of your hands and coming back towards you. It's a very playful little wormling, but at the same time it just starts like kind of like just screaming in excitement, coming into this world. But you can tell from your observations it is indeed a girl dragon.
I'm going to name you Ashara.
And with that, it's going to just kind of sit down and blink at you rapidly. And it's just going to go back to just kind of destroying this table that's adjacent to you.
Alright, I'm going to grab the bucket of meat that we left, and I'm going to go, Ashara, Ashara. I'm going to like throw the meat, see if she'll catch it.
Okay, so you throw the meat up into the air. The dragon actually leaps 3 feet into the air and snatches out of the air. But as it starts chomping down, it devours the entire piece, and then it looks at you and just kind of headbutts you to give it more.
There's plenty more. There's plenty more, and because there's a freaking full bucket, right?
It's a full bucket.
All right, I give her some more.
Okay, so you
Not
give her
too
some
much,
more.
because obviously there's some there for Droop, and I'm pretty sure Kale and Droop are awake by now, right?
Kale and Droop are looking at you, but like Droop is still kind of like asleep in Kale's arms. It seems as if he got the calmer of the 2 dragons.
Great.
Okay, so
Kale,
you feed her all the
perhaps
meat.
you want- Do you want any of this for your dragon?
It's like, oh, it's fine. He ate the dead guy in the corner.
Oh. Perfect. Well, I'm gonna feed mine animal meat.
What?
And I give the rest of the bucket to
And
Ashara.
Kale just looks just like I don't understand. I thought mercenaries were animals.
Yeah. I'm gonna kind of like not too yell because I don't want to startle her and be like, guys, the other dragon hatched.
Yeah. And with that, you guys can talk.
Okay.
I had me a couple brewskis after we got here and started.
We're awake. This has been 8 hours. We slept. You've been having brewskis in the morning?
Yeah, at anytime. Oh my goddamn self.
It's noon
There's never a wrong
somewhere.
time. Yeah, it's 5 o'clock somewhere.
It's
Oh.
5 o'clock somewhere.
What are we gonna do with these dragons?
I don't know, but Ashara's very cute, is she not? Say hi, Ashara.
And then as you say that, this dragon just starts spitting, like just coughing up a little bit more acid onto the floor. And then with that, it kind of looks at you and lets out a little puff of fire in your direction, and your eyebrows are kind of like singed.
Mine?
Yeah, yours.
Wait, it breathes fire and acid?
It's a black
Yes,
dragon.
Black
yeah.
dragon.
Ashara, you're very lucky. You're cute.
And with that, it's gonna run off and it's just gonna fucking destroy this this chair adjacent to it, and it's just gonna start whacking the tail with it, the chair with its tail.
How fast do dragons mature?
Very fast. If I'm not mistaken, very fast.
Not fast enough.
It's still a baby, so no matter what, we're going to have to either hunt or bring a lot of food for it. We can't leave it here. Especially not her. She'll destroy this village.
Mm-hmm.
She's just a baby. She doesn't know right from wrong yet. Do you, Ashara? Do you?
It's a weird sound.
Okay, so you guys have 2 dragons in tow. One that seems to be sleeping it off, and the other one who seems as if, like, it's gonna probably destroy whoever comes near it next.
Well, not me, right? It's not gonna kill me.
No.
Oh, God.
And one that's dead in the cave.
Jordan, do me a favor. How do you spell
Yeah.
Ashara?
Ashara. Do you guys want to know what Ashara means?
What's the name?
It's Elven for she who has a great journey ahead.
Who's calling me from 787? Hold on a second. let me
I
see
did
if it's-
3 hours of research on names
Hello.
and on dragons.
We'll see how long that journey lasts.
You have to start
Yeah. Let's see how
training
this
your
goes.
dragon.
Honestly, the thought is, because they can't stay with us forever. Eventually, they're gonna have to grow up and leave the nest. Perhaps we could just teach it enough to be good.
Lift is gonna walk into the room at this point. He's gonna be like, leave the nest? Or don't you mean burn the nest?
She doesn't have to burn the nest. She's not just a fire breather. She does acid too. Perhaps she melts the nest, alright?
Lift is gonna start eyeing both of these dragons intently, and you can see that his finger starts to kind of like trace his blade as he's like eyeing both of these dragons. He's gonna be
None
like,
of that.
and
You're going to scare him.
Yeah, he kind of just like turns around. And just is like, this is gonna be a decision that all of you regret for a very long, long time.
Perhaps.
And he just walks out the door.
Wow, does Lift not like dragons?
I go ahead and go ahead. All of a sudden you just hear, "Hi, oh hey there, Lift boy. How's everything going, lad?" And I go in. and I'm like, "What the shit was that noise? I was taking a good night's nap."
Lucius! Ashara hatched out of her egg!
Oh, good lord, that's what that was.
Yes!
Another one. That's just great.
Now we have a boy and a... Oh, dear God, we have a boy and a girl.
And you don't know if they're related either, so that's gonna be fun.
Oh my God.
I'm your sister. I'm your sister.
We
Guys,
know that Droop's a boy
Everybody
though.
knows Joker.
You know that you know that Droop's a boy.
Okay.
Oh dear.
So what is it? Is this Droopy and what's the other one?
Ashara. It's Elvin.
Oh,
For
sorry.
she
All
who
right.
has a great journey.
Great journey. I hope so. Nah, away from us at least.
Well, not yet. Perhaps we can raise them to be good.
And where are we
I mean,
supposed
it was Kale who said that not all chromatic dragons are evil.
to... True enough, but how are we going to be able to raise them? We have a long journey ahead of us. We gotta leave them somewhere safe, at least.
Well, we can't leave them here. Nighthill will kill him.
Oh, that goes without saying.
And Nighthill's just like standing in the back of the room, like, I'm right here, guys.
Nighthill, if we leave these dragons here, are you gonna keep them safe?
I would never kill an innocent creature.
That's
But
not
then-
a.
That wasn't a yes and that wasn't a no. You don't believe these things are innocent. I know you don't. Look me in the eye and tell me you wouldn't kill these dragons.
So Nighthill like approaches you, and he kind of just like he takes one look at you. He looks down at this dragon. He gets down on this dragon's level, and he just kind of pets it. He's like, "I believe in nurture versus nature."
Ashara, do you see that? He likes you.
Yeah, and with that, she kind of spits like a little bit of acid on the tip of his finger. He's like, "Fuck!"
Governor, that means she likes you.
Oh Jesus Christ, dragons!
Look, she singed my eyebrows and she thinks I'm her mommy.
My mommy.
So if they singe your eyebrows, that means that that's your parent. Mom! Dad!
Jordan has
Well,
been marked.
probably that fire and acid probably wouldn't hurt her mother too bad.
Exactly. Perhaps we might be able to lead them here. We'll only be gone for a week or two.
So, Nighthill says, like, right now this town is in constant need of repair. A week or two with a dragon may very well put us over the edge. I don't mind keeping these dragons, but they'll have to stay in the cellars. Locked
That's
away in the darkness.
Oh, but that's so mean. They
We
need
don't-
fresh air and sunlight. What if we pay you?
Who's gonna take care of them? Not me. I have so many other things to do.
What if we pay you?
Pay me.
Yes.
You have to pay me a fool's fortune in order to take care of dragons.
I take out a half a dozen precious stones. 600 gold pieces worth. Right here.
He just kind of looks at the thing. He's like, no, not enough. My finger still hurts.
Put it away.
Is there a way we can get them back to the manor?
So
Dramash is there.
he kind of points you in the direction of one of the town's metal workers and says, like, perhaps they can fabricate a cage. Utilize your caravan as a way of transporting these creatures.
That could work.
You can tell that he's kind of excited at the fact that these dragons are going to be out of his town real soon.
But I don't want to keep them in a cage. The whole point of this pretty much experiment is the idea that we can turn evil nature dragons and make them less evil. No one's entertained the thought that they might end up being good, but maybe less evil. I'm pretty sure that locking a dragon into a cage is not going to make them very happy with us. Perhaps a metal leash?
He kind of just points in the direction of the smithy, and he's just like, you ask him whatever you need. I am not a dragon expert. I am just a victim of dragons.
Lucius, Tamalis, you don't think you could probably go to the smithy? I don't feel comfortable leaving the dragons here. Alone.
Okay. But what should we ask for? The cage and the leash, maybe? I mean,
A little bit of both?
if we don't cage
A
them, they might
a cage-
get away.
A cage for easy, like, mobility, so they don't melt our caravan. But I do plan on letting at least Ashara out for a run here and there.
Mm-hmm.
And if they run, well, a baby dragon out on the loose in the forest is not probably going to survive very long, so...
In a forest?
Alone?
I think
Without
it'd be
anything
just
to-
fine.
Do a nature check.
Oh dear.
I'll probably eat everything that's inside
16.
the forest.
15.
16.
You kind of take your words back as you realize like that dragons are completely self-sufficient creatures.
Even as 1-day-old infants?
Yes.
It just hatched and it's already running around like a maniac.
Been eating meat like they did it since the.
They're like hunters. You know, like how when snakes hatch and a baby
Yeah.
snake can start hatching like the same day it's born. It's kind of like that.
Can start. Oh. Well. I eat my words. Let's go see how much a cage is going to cost us. And I hand the precious stones. Perhaps the smithy might be interested in these if we don't have enough gold.
Yeah. Also, because you rolled a 16 on your nature check, this thing is gonna stay a wormling like the same size it is right now for about 4 years,
Okay.
and it won't reach adulthood for about 125 more.
Damn.
Oh, that's pretty good. I mean, that's around the time I'm gonna die from old age.
Well, you know, I was gonna mention that we probably won't even live long enough to see these dragons mature.
I am.
Wait, you're an elf. Don't you live close to
For
more than
almost
just?
300, 400, 500 years, depending on how happy you go of a life we have.
Oh, okay.
I'm a half elf. I'll only live to like 100 and something.
I mean, you all do know that I'm 174.
No,
You can
because
hear a
we
voice
don't
in the
know
back and tell
anything
like,
about
"Stop
each other."
old."
We don't know
Oh, and
anything.
I can live to be up to 700 years old. I'm still just a child.
Child. That makes me an infant then.
Well, how old are you? Lucius,
He doesn't remember.
In my
Lucius, do not
20s.
remember your own age.
In my 20s.
Oh dear
he,
God!
he had to look it up.
I haven't looked it up. I don't even want to look it up.
In a century. I barely became an adult. I'm pretty sure I'm older than all of you combined.
Maybe.
Okay, so you walk up to the smithy, and the dragons are not with you, right?
Jordan
No,
stayed behind.
I'm staying
Yeah,
behind. I'm playing with Ashara. I'm keeping her happy, playing with
Okay.
her.
Okay. As you're
Trying
playing,
not to get
as you're
burned
playing
by
with
acid.
as you're playing with Ashara, she starts kind of like starts biting down on your flesh. She doesn't not hard enough to break your skin, but you can tell that she really wants to.
She wants to bite me.
Yeah, like she's trying to eat you.
What? Ashara, are you hungry?
She kind of just takes a look at you, not really understanding what you're saying. As
Yummy.
She starts to kind of like clamp down around your arm, gripping you.
Ow, ow, Ashara, no. No.
You turn your head and you can see that Kale's dragon is doing the same thing as Kale's kind of just like dozing off into sleep, but his skin is just made of stronger stuff, so he's not really feeling it. But both of these dragons are still viciously hungry.
Alright. Governor Nighthill!
And Ninehill's just like, what?
If we don't get food here soon, we're all dragon food.
Okay, what do you need?
Lots and lots of meat.
He kind of just like he runs off, grumbling under his breath down the corridor.
I love you. You're wonderful. Never change.
You can't even hear a response from him as grumbling fades off into the distance. He returns a few minutes afterwards with at least 3 buckets worth of meat.
Ashara, this is food. Your mummy, not food. That's food. Yum. And I repeat it in Draconic.
And with that, she kind of just looks at this thing of food. She like hits it with her head, knocking over all the buckets and starts devouring all the meat inside the bucket.
She eats 3 buckets alone.
No, she starts to eat it. She doesn't eat it.
Oh.
Yeah. Kale's so Droop is gonna jump out of Kale's arms and he's gonna continue eating some of this food. Kind of disappointed at the fact that he's not able to eat Kale.
Oh god, we're really gonna regret this, guys.
Well, they don't understand anything yet.
I don't think they eat their mothers.
Their mothers probably have a lot of food on hand before they're born.
Good point. Very good point. But in my defense, I was not expecting 2 dragons in 2 days.
So we should probably get these cages and these
Yeah.
leashes.
Okay, so who's gonna go talk to the smithy?
I'll go. How big are these dragons?
They're about 2 to 3 feet long right now.
Goodness, what kind of metal would
big
we
dog.
need?
One that
Um,
can handle acid.
Because yes, they breathe acid and fire.
I'm so glad you guys asked that question.
Because
Like when I heard about cages, I'm like, these things have acid.
Yeah.
Like a day of them just dripping acid onto the cage would probably break it free.
Probably, but we want to put them in the caravan, so we need. It's less of a cage and more something that will keep the caravan from melting.
so I have to discuss this with the smithy then.
Yeah. I gave you 6 precious stones, by the way, so if anyone wants that, it's probably going to be a smithy.
Okay. So, let's do this.
Okay, so you walk up to the smithy, and he just hey, what brings you to me today?
Well, could you make a cage, 2 cages,
Sure.
that would hold 2 black dragons?
And with that, he just kind of like, whoa. Did you say black dragons?
Yes.
It's like, you don't mind me asking what you're doing with black dragons, would you?
Keeping them out of the hands of evil folk.
Why not just let them go?
Do you want 2 baby dragons running around Greenest then? Or the surrounding areas?
You have a very good point. But he tells you that he doesn't know of many metals that can withstand a dragon's acid. He'll be happy to make you some metal cages, but he's not sure if they're going to be strong enough to handle these things.
You don't have any idea what could contain 2 black dragons.
No, I'm not an expert on these dragons, but maybe if you were to find somebody who can put a ward on it, preventing it from melting or resisting acid. But what you're looking for is the power of possibly even a dwarf. A dwarf smithy.
Let me guess, Baldur's Gate.
A dwarf smithy, and where could I find one?
Well, to be honest, I'm not entirely sure. Dwarf smithies are not just walking around. You may have better luck in a much larger town.
Right. I think a collar and a leash of some sort still would be something we should invest in, though. At least.
Okay, so he tells you that he can at least make you some shackles and some collars with very strong, durable chains. It's gonna cost a pretty penny since provisions are rather low in town at the moment. But he can do each set for about 100 gold pieces each.
100 gold pieces each.
Each collar.
Okay. I mean, I have the gems. Are you interested in these precious stones?
He looks at the stones and he's just like, I would much rather have the gold pieces, but if you're willing to part with all of these gems,
600 gold pieces.
You gave me 600 gold pieces worth?
Yes.
oh, wait, Tamlis doesn't know that.
I could've sworn-
No, yes, she did, because I told her as I handed her that they are worth 100 gold
Yes,
apiece.
but the fact
Oh,
that Tam just said, "Wait, there's 600 gold pieces worth."
No,
Yeah.
no, because
But
she
I
said
hope Tam,
yes.
Mira doesn't know. Tamilis knows. I told Tamilis.
She told me that they were worth 100 gold pieces each, but I wasn't sure how many she handed me because she didn't give me a number of
Well,
gems.
she
the
knows.
smithy says that he may not be able to sell these to turn a profit, and he's not in the habit of making fancy weaponry. So if you trade him the gems, he'll take all the gems. That, or he'll just take the gold, because the gold will go a lot further in helping him rebuild his workshop.
All right, I'll pay for it. 200 gold to have it made.
Okay, so you hand him over the gold, and he says that if you wait a few hours, he'll have the chains ready for you.
Okay,
So just come back and see him before you leave town.
got it. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I'll return to the keep, and I'll let everyone know. We're gonna probably need a dwarven smithy to create warded cages to contain these dragons.
I don't think there's anybody in here, in this town, who could probably do that.
No, the smithy said we'd probably need to go to a bigger town.
So
Carl,
as
can
you're
the dragons, can the dragons understand me?
the dragons can understand the gist of what you're saying, but their brains are still just new to this world.
Alright.
So, but you can see that they're learning at a very rapid rate. So they're able to understand clear instructions. They don't know what the hell you guys are talking about. But as you guys are talking, one of the Ashara kind of looks over at Tamlis. She can kind of see like a bag hanging, like the pouch hanging on her wayside, and she kind of just like rips it off, and with that, all of the gems are gonna hit the floor, and Ashara's gonna use this as an opportunity to just kind of pick up as many as she can in her mouth and then run into a corner.
Oh dear gosh, she's already making a horde.
Oh, that might be one way to keep them a bit docile.
No. No. Can I...
You want to do a check, Jordan?
Yeah, because I know how this works as a metagamer, but I want a metagame.
You can
Yeah.
go ahead and roll.
Nature?
Yep.
18 plus 3, 21.
Yep.
What do I know about dragons who make hordes?
So you know that black dragons or any chromatic dragons, they're driven by so many different things, but their main things is that they're driven by greed. They're driven by greed. They're creatures of humongous egos. They automatically think that they're better than everyone else, and they will do whatever it takes to amass a hoard of treasure. They also make very, very dangerous lairs. So if you allow this thing to start building up a horde, it's most likely going to start defending this horde with its life.
So I tell that to the others. Guys, if Ashara's already making a horde, we have no chance of getting out of here alive. Watch. And I walk over. Ashara, can mommy see those pretty little gems? And I kind of like.
I'm going to need you to roll for dexterity.
Yeah. 17.
17. So
Yeah.
as you kind of like start reaching towards, Ashara just like snaps at you while with a small little tiny roar as she almost bites one of your fingers clean off. Luckily you kind of knew it was coming, so you're able to retract your hand as fast as you possibly can, and you kind of just like turn around and look at the groups like, ugh!
See? Kale, do you see this?
Kale's just gonna kind of look at you, and he's just gonna be like, I don't know what you're talking about. Droop is great, and he's just like kind of petting Droop as Droop is just clawing at his wrist, just like trying to grip down, unable to penetrate the skin. He's like, look, he's cute. He's playing.
Kale, it's trying to rip your arm off. It's cute because you have armor that's also your skin.
And he kind of just looks like, oh, he's not gonna roll high enough to hurt me.
Kale, can you be a babysitter for just a second?
What?
Can I actually say something?
Yes.
Oh, hi, Troy. Kale,
I'm driving right now.
Okay. What's up?
How much?
So as she's, I literally just got in here. As much as she's complaining about it.
No. You need to hold up. You need to hear what happened immediately before you came on.
Let me respond. I heard about the finger snapping and then not doing it. But let me say something in return to you complaining about the dragon being hostile. I kind of just look at you and I just like grunt and chuckle a little bit, but not in like a funny way, but like in a demeaning way. And I just look at you and I say, you know, maybe dragons should be the only thing to raise other dragons.
All right, you want to make her share? Make her share. Make her share her hoard with Drew.
So Troy, up until this point, the dragons have been trying to eat you. They haven't. They've been eating all the food that you guys throw at them, and right now, the second dragon has officially hatched, and is starting to amass a hoard in the corner of this cell, and not letting anybody get close to her treasure.
Please, Kale, wise dragon that you are, make her share. Raise Ashara. Make her do what you want.
Why make her share?
She's barely 2 hours old.
But it's hers. Why make her share?
It's not hers, it's Mummy's. It's mine.
Yeah, well, what is yours is hers. Have you never raised a child before?
No, have you?
Maybe.
The first troop does not count.
You must remember, I am an old dragon.
You don't talk much about yourself.
I know.
Tell you what, Kale, why don't you babysit for a bit while the others and I go talk about this?
Fine.
Alright, someone needs to watch them, because if we don't watch them, they could destroy all the furniture. Ashara, right over there, she's a bit feisty. Just watch her. She likes to kill chairs.
Aren't we in like the dungeon room?
Yeah.
Okay. There's a lot of furniture down here for it being a dungeon room.
Yes. Well, you do need tables and chairs for the guards to have a place to sit while they watch over prisoners.
I look over at Ashara and it's like, Ashara, Mummy's gonna be upstairs. You enjoy playing with your shiny diamonds and gems. Not diamonds. We don't have diamonds. Your shiny gems that are worth 600 gold pieces. Very nice hoard you have there, darling.
Is it also a black dragon?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Black dragons like black dragons, by the way, like coin more than they do gems.
I know. I rolled a 21 on my nature check. I know.
Yes, but
Okay.
a horde of anything, because they don't only do coins. They do coins, gems, magical items, and
Yep.
anything of legend. It's not just coins. They don't have a preference. They just like powerful magical items.
No, black dragons themselves, granted they do like that stuff, but they do have more of a preference than the other dragons. Like they don't take fine arts and shit like that.
Right,
Dude,
they like
I'm
money.
I'm literally looking at it. They like everything. They like coins, gems, magic items, and anything of legend. So any magically enhanced treasures as well.
Yeah, that's not fine arts though.
He's saying they don't like artsy fartsy things.
Yeah, they like actual physical objects
Yeah.
that cannot be tarnished and stuff like that.
Well, as Rena speaks to this dragon, she can kind of hear it muttering under its breath, in what seems to be draconic.
All right, I can understand that. What'd you
Yes.
say, Ashara?
So it's just kind of looking at you. It's like, stay away from my gold. Stay away from my treasures.
Mummy doesn't need your gold right now, darling. I say in Draconic.
And with that, it's gonna just kind of like breathe a little bit of fire at you.
Really?
Yeah, it's not actually going to hurt you. It's just gonna breathe a little puff of fire at you.
Like it's being mean? Is she throwing a temper tantrum?
Possibly.
We'll have none of that temper. Mummy just said she's not taking your precious gems. Technically, they were Mummy's, and Mummy gave them to you.
And then Ashara's gonna respond as like, everything that is pretty is mine.
I'm pretty. Am I yours, darling?
It's just gonna ignore you as it kind of like turns its head away and kind of just start like shuffling all the little tiny gems into the corner.
Okay.
What's your dragon's name again? Ashira?
Ashara.
Ashara, okay.
Yeah, it's Elven for she who is destined for a great journey. I was hoping that giving her a nice name would make her nice.
Well, I mean,
She's turning out to be a bitch compared to Droop.
well, I mean, it is gonna be a journey of her getting horse, making a horse. For herself, so.
Droop, just because Droop is not stealing coin doesn't mean he's not trying to currently eat kale.
Wait, is he actually legit like trying to eat kale?
Yeah, but Troy's skin is just made of fucking really strong stuff.
Dear God. Alright, I'm gonna walk away and close the door behind me and go upstairs. How good is their hearing?
The dragon's hearing?
Yeah.
Pretty decent.
Can they hear us? So they can hear us if we're at the top of the keep talking?
No, not that good.
No, that's way too far.
Okay, just
Yeah.
want to make sure. Alright. Let's go to the top of the keep. Top. Very, very, very top. And I grab Lift, Lucius, Deondo, and Tamilis.
Okay.
We go all the way up. We fucked up. We should have left well enough alone. They probably would have died in that cave. Or we should have smashed their eggs.
this
Ashara
is-
was literally cute for 2 minutes. And then she tried to eat me.
I guess it's a good thing I went ahead and accidentally broke the third egg, eh?
Oh, it's very good. I would have tried to save all 3 of them. Learned my lesson. I've only been out of my village for 2 years. I've never had to encounter a dragon. I told everybody, I told Kale, that all chromatic dragons were evil. I was right. Experiment done. What are we going to do?
We could release them into some mountains as far as we can. I mean, if you're not willing to.
That would take a lot of time
would take
out of our
days.
journey. And then we've let 2 dragons free that know what greenest is. They're not dumb. She's already started talking. She's been alive for 2 hours.
2 hours, like 2 years for them.
I know. She's been alive for 2 hours, so she already learned how to talk. And she already thinks that everything that is pretty in this world is hers.
Well, sounds like
And I don't know about you, but I don't think I could spank a black dragon. And Kale doesn't realize that his is trying to eat him. Right now, as we speak. Oh dear, we literally left him with 2 baby dragons that are hungry and want to eat him. He named one of them Droop. He named it. At least mine, like, yes, I feel a little sad, but mine tried to eat me. I'm pretty fine with Ashura ending her great journey. She's not an innocent baby. She's a terrifying dragon.
Um,
And I'm pretty sure that if Dromosh was here with us, he would probably agree.
I mean, you could try reasoning with it.
I
It's
told her.
intelligent.
You guys didn't hear what I was talking about because you can't understand Draconic, but I told her
I can.
I'm not stealing any of her pretty gems, and that she's pretty, and that, you know, I'm her mummy, and she literally tried to breathe fire on me.
Well, she released a puff of fire at you. It's not a fire breath.
You told me that it was a temper tantrum and that it was not meant to be nice.
Yeah, it's like, but it's more like it's like a little temper tantrum, but it's not like trying to kill you. It's just like,
Yeah, it huffed and puffed.
yeah, huffed and
Yeah,
puffed, like
she's
get away from me.
holding- She's holding a temper tantrum. Okay. We could try. But I'm pretty... let's talk to her first and tell her that how she's behaving is not okay. Perhaps we could tell her Bahamut is good. If she says anything about Tiamat, I'm taking her head.
It's like all hail Tiamat's glory.
If she likes Bahamut and she's willing to be a good dragon, I'll raise her. We'll find some way to feed her so she doesn't eat us in our sleep.
Oh, hail Tiamat.
I don't think babies know nothing of gods yet, but they do like shiny things, so that's a different situation.
I'm pretty sure that all dragons are born with an innate understanding of their god.
No,
Mm,
I don't
I'm pretty
think
sure
so.
That's
I
what
think-
I read, and that's what I read in all the dragon raising. Any of the chromatics, the reason why they're always aligned to evil is because no matter what or how they're raised, they all have an identification and a connection to Tiamat.
I could have sworn that their alignment is based off of their like who they are, like when they're born, like that's it. Like black dragons are black dragons. You can't change a thing's.
I know.
Yeah, but
They're
I don't
evil
think
by
I don't think
alignment.
I don't think it has like a history on it. Like it might have an attachment to that particular god, but I don't know if it's just like, oh yeah, Tiamat, the goddess of all dragons. Oh yeah, she's great, 9 hells and all that. It's like,
Perhaps we can get her to love Bahamut.
This is just. This is
Let-
probably
let's-
instinct.
Or let's try to talk to her. We
Mm-hmm.
still need to figure out. You got the chains, right?
They're being made.
Did you already pay for it?
Yes.
she already paid for it, but Kale may not want to chain up his dragon.
It's not a chain. It's a leash. It's a leash.
I don't think they're gonna see it that way.
Just to get them out of town. It's shiny. It'll be shiny. Maybe they'll
Be
appreciate
very
this.
shiny.
Look how shiny and nice this looks around your neck.
All right. Why don't we try talking to the dragon again? Tamlis, you still need to send your note to Leosin.
Mr. Monkman.
To
If you
Leosin?
still want me to,
Yeah.
we could, cause are we not gonna go meet up with him? We could tell him in person.
Yeah.
But wouldn't it be better if he had the information now?
Do you think that dragon's gonna eat me?
I
I need to let him know now.
Send the message now, because you're gonna be dead in a few minutes.
I think he needs to know now because the cult already has 5 days on us. And perhaps he can do more from where he is than we can if we're moving that way.
Do we know how long it takes to get to
6
where
days.
he is?
6 days.
6 days.
6 days.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I guess I can send the message while you guys try to deal with the dragon.
Lucius, you speak Draconic. Come with me.
Yeah.
Alright, so I go back down.
If I must.
How's Kale? Is Kale alive?
Gale's still alive. He's just kind of like playfully, like kind of like pushing Droop away as Droop like kind of like flies towards him and crashes into him. And he just keeps just kind of doing that back and forth.
Kind of like how dogs like they bite when they play, but like it's also biting when it plays, but it doesn't know. And it's okay because I'm also of dragon scales currently, so it doesn't hurt me.
It's so
You
cute.
know, I would say more like a feral wolf is playing with you, but yeah, sure, dogs are fine too.
Yeah, sure.
And where's Ashara?
Ashara's in the corner, just kind of like sitting with this pile of gems behind her. Small, very very small
honey.
pile.
Ashara,
I just got home. Give me a second.
Okay.
Ashara, honey, don't you want to play with Droop?
And she kind of just like looks over, and she's gonna be speaking in Draconic each time that she does this. But she's just gonna be like, it's like, he seems to be having fun. I just want more treasure.
Well, Ashara, honey, you can't just have all the treasure.
You're gonna have to roll for animal handling, by the way.
Do 14.
And with that, Charles is gonna look at just like, why not?
Because, honey, you're a good girl, and we have to share, and
Why?
we have to pay for our things.
Why?
Because that's how the world works. Everything works with equivalent exchange. So if we want something, we have to pay for it. We can't just steal it. It's very bad.
Why?
Because Bahamut said so.
Who's Bahamut?
He's the king of all dragons, darling.
The king of all dragons?
Yes.
Okay. Why do we listen to Bahamut?
She doesn't understand kings and queens and stuff like that.
I don't know how to answer this.
Yeah. You're not
because
you're not
honey,
even
it's like-
you're not a dragon. Why do you listen to Bahamut?
Had a
Oh, I
parent
don't. I
101.
listen to my god, Sehani.
So then why should I listen to Bahamut?
Because you're a dragon. Unless you would like to listen to Sahanin, who's my dragon, and I'm your mummy. And Sahanin's a wonderful woman, and she cares about all of us and all living creatures.
I don't care about anything. I just want pretty things.
But, darling, don't you see the world? The world is gorgeous. Everything's pretty.
I haven't seen the world. All I know is this room.
Would you like to see the world?
Sure.
Will you be good for mummy if I show you the world?
Maybe.
Mummy loves you very much, and she wants to show you all the pretty things. But she can't show you all the pretty things if you go around hurting people.
I'm not gonna hurt people. I'm only gonna hurt the people who don't give me all their gold.
Darling, that's not how it works. Remember, equivalent exchange. You have to give something to get something.
Why? When I can just take it.
Because, darling, you're a good girl. And good girls are nice. And they don't just hurt for the sake of hurting.
Roll another animal handling.
Oh, God. Guys, I'm really stressed out. I wasted all of my natural 20s.
I'm literally like little by little backing off next to the door,
Oh my
making
God.
sure.
13.
Okay, with that, like, she doesn't really believe what you say. You can tell she's kind of just like giving you. If dragons could be sassy, this dragon would be sassy. It kind of just like reluctantly agrees with you and kind of just like starts nudging its gems towards you, and says like, "Keep these safe for me. I want them back."
I will be happy to keep them safe for you, darling. They're all yours.
And
Mummy
at-
gives them to you.
Yeah. And then she kind of just like keeps nudging them forward, and then she kind of just like waits for you to show her outside.
Alright, I pet her on the head.
Okay.
I'm-
She kind of just
I'm very
closes her
proud of
eyes
you.
and accepts it reluctantly.
I'm very proud of you. I put them in a little baggie, and I show her where I'm putting it on my side. If you want them, just let me know, and I'm happy to give them back to you, alright?
She kind of just nods in agreement.
Alright. Now here, before we go, I'm going to ask you. You can tell me no. But the man out there is a bit... I wouldn't say he's grumpy. He's very, very grumpy. So he might be a little scared of you. So we're gonna try to be nice and gentle. Alright? And we're gonna walk nice and out. And I'll just take you into the forest and maybe we can go some hunting. We can get you some food. Are you hungry?
And she nods like very energetically.
Alright. Now. For now, we're gonna let you loose. Alright? But later, we're gonna try something different. We're gonna do something what's called a leash to keep anyone from stealing you from Mummy.
Okay.
Is that alright?
Wait, say that again?
It's nice and shiny and pretty.
What,
I told her
the chain?
that we're gonna use a leash when we leave to El Terrell, but I'm letting her know that it's so people don't steal her from me.
Okay.
So it's to protect her. Does she believe me? Because it's also kind of true.
Persuasion.
Oh, fuck. I'm gonna use the green one. 12.
12. She
Right.
reluctantly believes you as she kind of just
Alright.
like follows closely behind. As you're walking out, you can see that everyone within this keep is looking horrified at the sight of this wormling just kind of walking amongst his presence. Nighthill's just like shaking his head, just kind of like, oh Jesus Christ, these
She's
dragons.
friendly. She's friendly. Ashara, you want to give a little puff of smoke? Show him, say hello.
And with that, she's actually gonna spit out a huge like mist of acid from her breath, and she's gonna start just like roaring and like lashing out as everyone in town is just kind of like, oh my god, and like multiple guards are like holding on to their weapons, and a very old skinny man with spectacles and a huge coat kind of like walks up. She's like, is that a real black dragon?
She's never been outside before. Ashara, stop. You're scaring everyone.
And he just looks this wormling up and down. He's like, fascinating. You wouldn't be willing to sell her, would you, for about 2,000 gold pieces?
And I say in Draconic, Ashara's not for sale. She's my daughter.
Okay, this is a human, so he doesn't understand what you're saying.
But I want to make sure Ashara can hear me.
Okay. And with that, he just kind of looks around like,
I repeat it in common too. Ashara's not for sale. She's my daughter.
Your daughter? Oh.
Yes.
And he kind of just like looks at you. He's just like, what about 3,000 gold pieces?
No.
And he kind of just starts like looking down into his coin purse, and he's like, I can get you a lot of gold for that dragon.
I repeat,
just name your price.
I look over at Ashara, and in Draconic say, darling, could you come over here for a second? I don't trust this man. He seems to want you way too much. Do you mind coming closer to me, please?
And Ashara just kind of like comes closer, eyeing this gentleman intently.
Now, remember when Mummy said that you have to be a good girl?
Uh-huh.
Now, Mummy doesn't want you to hurt the man, but she does want you to scare him a little. You think you do that little puff of smoke thing that you do?
Okay. And with that, she kind of like releases a rather large fireball towards this gentleman,
No!
kind of like searing him in the chest, and he kind of like reels back, laughing, and he's just like, oh, this dragon's gonna make a rather great potion. Name your price.
Dear Lord, no! You're not going to kill her. She's done nothing wrong yet.
and he kind of just like stands up, holding onto his chest. He's kind of like examining himself, noticing that only his clothes caught on fire. He didn't take any sustainable damage from this fire blast.
I look over at Shara. Like, I'm proud of you for not hurting him, but I did say smoke, not fire. Please tell me that you just did that because you're not used to using your breath yet.
She kind of looks at you with with eyes, like amusing eyes, as if like she did do it on purpose, but she's not willing to admit it. And this gentleman's gonna walk away. He's like, those dragons will be mine. And he kind of just like walks away. It's like, but thank you for your time. And he just leaves the keep. Kind of just like leaves the keep and starts walking away.
I look over and he's like, I'm a bit worried about him, but Perhaps you shouldn't have breathed fire. I think that made him happier. I say in Draconic to her.
Okay.
See why we listen to Mummy? Mummy knows the world. Mummy knows that fire makes people happy. Why would you breathe fire? Honey.
Don't tell her that. She's gonna believe that's actually true. Blaming everybody.
People like him like that. But, honey, I know that you are very, 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 very smart. But next time, can we listen to Mummy just a bit more?
She just looks you up and down and just like, maybe.
Now, darling, maybe right now is not enough.
And
You might be.
She's
you
just,
might be
she's
almost...
gonna follow you. She's gonna follow you the rest of the way. So where are you taking her?
All right. We're just gonna go to the outskirts of Greenest to the forest to go hunting.
Okay. So
I'm
with that,
taking out my short bow.
I'm gonna move on to somebody else so that
Yeah.
somebody else can have a moment.
Yep, perfectly fine. I gotta pee anyways.
Okay.
What am
I say
sounding
Troy.
at the moment?
Let's see how Troy does with his.
Hi. I don't have my chainmail on anymore. That's weird.
Okay.
Yeah, naked.
Probably why your
That's 'cause
dragon's trying
You
to
took
eat
off
you.
your armor, Troy, because it raised your armor class.
Yeah, but I don't have it in my inventory anymore.
Oh, that's weird.
The dragon stole it and made its own little.
It ate it.
Check Droop's inventory.
That's actually what I was going to do.
Okay, so as Kale is just playfully playing with his dragon, this is gonna start like kind of like growling at him, and you can tell that it's getting rather hungry once again, and it needs to be fed immediately.
So real quick, what have we fed them so far?
Buckets of meat that you've gotten from town.
They've had like 2 to 3 buckets of meat each.
And a dead body.
Unless
And
that
a
was
dead
just
body.
a joke.
It was a joke, Dan. It was a joke. There's no dead body in there.
Okay.
Okay. Can I go get more buckets of meat?
Yes.
Okie dokie. So real quick, just to have a little. All right. So what is this leashes thing? Is there a second leash, or is there just the one leash?
There's 2 leashes. Tamilis was spoke to Smithy and bought 2 good stern like collars and leashes for these dragons so that you guys can easily transport them. So she bought you one, so it was 100 gold
Okay.
pieces.
Okay. And
We don't have them yet.
yeah, we have them. She's got one. What the fuck? Why don't we have the second
No,
one?
they're being
She doesn't
made.
have one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I have to go back to him, but he didn't give me a time.
Okay.
That
He
was
just said,
before
he said a few hours.
Now I know she's been interacting with Ashara. Have I been interacting at all besides the playing with?
You haven't been speaking to it at all. You've just
Okay.
been kind of laughing it off.
So, as it growls at me, I kind of just look at it, and I say, Drew, is it more food you want?
And it says to you in Draconic, yes, food. I am so hungry.
Okay. We will go get food, and you can come with me. But the other hatchling from your clutch, it's very rude to its caretaker. I want to make sure no harm comes to you, and I want to do everything I can for you. So I'm going to take you out there in front of other people. They do not like you. They don't like me very much either. But as we are here, we need to be calm. I will feed you as much as you need. But can you please be calm for me?
And he's gonna look at you like intently. He's just like, it's like that would depend on them.
Okay. So as I stand up, I've obviously I've taken off my chainmail armor. I lay it out, and I put like 5 gold pieces in the center of it for him to try to clutch onto and hold on to and play with. So I say, Droop, please play with this in the meantime. I will hold you in this chain, so as to keep you safe, and as to keep everyone else as far away from you as possible. And I will feed you. I will go get you as much food as I can right now.
You're gonna have to roll animal handling.
What chain are you using?
Huh?
What chain are you using?
My chain mail, like my actual plate.
Got it. Okay.
Okay, so
Damn.
he kind of just like goes into your chainmail and kind of like circles around the gold pieces and doesn't say a word but looks at you, and you can hear like a small growl kind of emitting from its body.
So I go and I pick him up, and I kind of wrap the chainmail lightly around him as a sort of metal blanket. And we go upstairs to meet with everybody else for a second before we go get more food.
Oh, great, another one loose.
And then as you emerge from this room, you can see that a lot of people's eyes are upon you, and just like, Jesus Christ, do they have another fucking dragon? Oh my fucking god! And everyone's just kind of like eyeing you, and all the guards are hesitant to let you let you come anywhere near them, and all the townsfolk are just kind of like going back against the wall, knowing you as a person that hasn't been so nice within this town, and now with a dragon in hand, and after everything that's happened with the cultists, they're starting to question whether you're a trustworthy individual.
Now Nighthill is up here, correct?
Nighthill's up there, yeah.
Okay, so I look at Nighthill, and I kind of just... I don't get close to him, but I get close enough to where I'm in just like normal speaking distance. And speaking in common to him, I'm not sure if Droop can understand common, so I'm just gonna talk in common as if I'm not speaking, so he can hear him or hear me. I say, Nighthill, please, the young whelpling needs food. I know we are short on rations and whatnot, since you guys are still repairing from the situation at hand. But please, if you could help me acquire more buckets of meat, I will gladly pay you for this help, so as we're not walking around with a dragon around town.
So he looks you up and down, sees the little dragon, just kind of like kind of chomping on your chainmail. He just says like, I will give you 2 buckets of meat, but you need to take these dragons out. It's making my town extremely uneasy with these dragons walking, or just kind of being toted around town. So if I give you the meat, you have to promise me that within the next few hours, you'll be well on your way outside of this area.
Fair. I myself will go to the outskirts of town, and I'll take care of the dragon out there. But please, in the meantime, bring me the meat so I can leave the town, and if possible, can I give you some extra gold so you can get me some more meat than just 2 buckets? He is but a newborn whelpling. He's hungry.
So he doesn't give you like a price. He just says whatever you would like to leave, just leave it with one of the guards, and I'll make sure that they give you plenty of meat for your journey.
So I look at Lucius. I'm like, Lucius, if I take out the money and I give it to you right now, I don't know if the dragon will be upset, because I don't think he comprehends what is his or not. Can you please give Nighthill the money, and I'll give you what belongs to you later? Can you do me that favor, please?
Absolutely, friend. That's what you've done for me before.
Thank you. And I guess like 20 gold. I don't know how much buckets of meat are going to be worth.
So Lucius is gonna hand over at least 20 pieces of gold, but as he's shuffling through his bag, Droop's entire head is gonna like perk up at the mere sound of these coins being given over, and like he's gonna just start kind of like drooling, and little tiny droplets of acid are gonna hit that chainmail. And you can tell that he wants to just kind of like pounce out of Kale's hands towards the gold.
As I kind of just like, I can tell, like I clutch just a little harder onto Droop, and I say, Droop, I carry your wealth on my person. We will get more for you, so don't worry about others' gold. We will acquire more.
And with that, Droop kind of looks over at him, and he's just like, "But I want that gold."
Don't worry, we'll get you better gold.
No, but if I have that gold and then you get me better gold, I'll have more gold.
I understand, Droop, but in this moment, please, we can get you much, much better gold.
And he's gonna look away from you, and he's gonna angrily spit a little ball of acid straight into your chainmail.
I go in and tell Kel, better teach him how to pick his battles, mate. He's not gonna make it there long if he keeps on fighting with people that already know how to kill.
Don't worry. You want me to teach him how to fight battles? I don't even know how to fight my own battles.
says the two dead guys like about half a day ago.
Okay. So they give you a total of 4 buckets of just miscellaneous meat. It doesn't seem like it's fresh meat, but it's whatever they could spare.
That's fine. I tell everyone I'll be at the is there a specific way we have to go? Or is there just like we'll figure that out later?
So you know that Leosin, the monk that you rescued, he has left you a good amount of provisions and horses and as a means of traveling to the next area, which is El Tural. It's a small town to the north of where you are now. It's about 6 days travel.
Okay. So I tell everyone, well, fuck, there's no north exit to this fucking town.
No, there's an east one.
Just so when everyone needs to leave, I will be there already.
Okay.
So just look.
You're just looking around?
Yeah, just I'll be on the road, I guess. But
okay. So as you're preparing to kind of like leave town with Droop in tow, the smithy walks up to Tamlis and says like, "Well, I finished your chains. They're not the best, but I did what I could."
Okay, thank you. Any little bit helps.
And he hands you these chains that are like, they're a good solid 50 pounds, but they're very, very durable chain links, and you can tell like any wormling's gonna have a hard time breaking out of these things. Melting it is another story, but breaking out of it's gonna have a very difficult time.
Well, hopefully they'll want them. We can convince them to want them.
Yeah. 'Cause you ain't getting those on there if they don't want it.
Yeah.
We could always try and see if we could put some jewelry on top.
does she get the chains before I leave, or is that after I've already left?
It's around the same time.
So she could catch you.
Yeah.
Carlos, for the sake of story, can we say that as we walk, I'm telling Ashara about Sahani and the Moon Elves
Mm-hmm.
and the lore of my people?
Yep. She doesn't seem she doesn't seem as if she
Cares.
as if she cares at the moment, but she is taking in all that information and learning from what you're telling her.
I figured that if she's a dragon, probably cares about knowledge at least a little.
Yeah.
Okay.
Alright. I'll be back really quick.
Okay. Anything you want to do in town, Dan?
No. I mean, we pretty much did everything we need to do.
Okay. So, Troy, would you like to try to chain up your dragon? Actually, what, Dan?
I mean, I'm guessing there's some guards. Not all of them have weapons and all that stuff, right? Some of them are kind of long weapons and stuff like that.
No, they all have weapons.
Oh, okay. Never mind then.
Yeah, I mean they're guards. They still have the weapons that they fought with in the battle, and there was plenty of weapons strewn about town that they're all well armed still.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Anything else, guys?
I guess for story's sakes, I was able to catch the chains and before I left. So as Tam would give me the chain, I go and I present it to Droop, and I say, "Look, Droop, the people of this village have made you a shiny metal necklace in your honor. How great is that?"
He looks at you like not thoroughly convinced that it's a necklace, as he sees that there's a chain attached to it, and he just kind of starts to question like, what is the chain for?
The chain is so that if someone tries to steal you or the money away from you, I will be forever in tow to stop them and protect you from any thieves.
He looks at the chain. He looks at you as like, nothing will ever be able to take me.
And as much as I would agree with you, people will try. People have always tried.
Roll persuasion.
Oh, that last line sounded really sad, Troy.
And with that, Droop is going to look at the chain, he's going to look at you, and he's going to start kind of like trotting 20 feet ahead of you, denying you any other words, as he doesn't want the chain.
Okay. So as I guess we're walking towards the outside of the town, I kind of just chuckle to myself, and I say, "Droop, I know you might not be happy with me right now, but can you really be unhappy with the man who's trying to feed you at the same time?"
Yes.
Well, whenever you're done being upset at me, let me know so I can continue to give you more food.
And he kind of like flaps his wings as he starts kind of like hovering above the ground as you guys are exiting town. And he sees like something off into the distance, and he kind of just like zooms past and disappears into like kind of like a section of trees. And when he comes back out, he's just munching on what looks like a very large rabbit. And he's just ripping it to shreds and eating it.
Oh man.
Did he come back to me with it, or did I?
Yeah, he came back to you. He went in, caught it, came back out, and then like kind of like ate it in front of you.
I smirk at him.
Okay.
I say, "Good job, Droop. You can hunt for yourself. You make me very proud."
Yeah, looking real foolish with your buckets of meat.
Is that what Droop says to me?
No, that's what I'm saying to you.
Well, can't be foolish when you're trying to provide.
But yeah, so he's just gonna keep on munching on this rabbit as he kind of just like looks at you, and he just turns away dramatically as he starts to kind of like hover above the air again.
I kind of just
Already fly.
put a little bit of more gold in the chainmail, and I just kind of all just like rustle it together to make noise.
You rustle the chainmail together to make noise?
Yeah, I put some more gold in there.
Okay. And he looks at he kind of like his head kind of perks up at the sound of more gold as he looks at you, and he starts just like flying towards you, and he's gonna try to ram straight into your chest to force you to drop the chainmail.
Do you want me to make like a saving throw or something?
No, he doesn't even phase you as you're a 6-foot tall dragon monstrosity.
Dragon
Yeah.
monstrosity.
If it was me, I think it'd be a little different.
Yeah.
So as he like rams into my chest, I kind of just use the chainmail as like a landing platform for him because that's what he's trying to get to anyways. And I just like vaguely, not trying to like wrap him like a burrito in it, but just vaguely put the chainmail around him.
Aww.
Okay, and with that, he's just gonna kind of like curl up into the chainmail, just in love with all this gold that's in here now.
Oh.
Maybe we should have freaking put some gold on them chains.
Gold chains, baby.
Man, you guys didn't bedazzle that shit.
That's what I'm saying. Just put something on it to make it more enticing.
I was saying
Okay.
put some jewels around the holes of the chain.
So what is Rena doing?
I mean, we after I discussed the hunting because she was curious about my god, and I know more about than I know about Bahamut. We're in the forest, and I'm encouraging her to hunt.
Encouraging her to hunt.
Yeah,
She's
and I asked her, does she want me to help? And I have my short bow and my arrow with me, or is she good?
Yeah, and she's
Like,
gonna.
I not help. Sorry, I asked her if she would like me to join her.
She tells you just like you may follow. As she kind of just like flies straight above, past the trees, she kind of like disappears into the sky, and you can kind of hear like a large amount of shuffling and a huge like shriek, kind of like coming from the woods about 40 or 50 feet away from you.
Is it
And
her
it's
shrieking?
it's an animal style shriek.
Okay. Can I also try to catch something so when she comes back she can see I killed something too?
Sure.
Alright, do I need to do a check or can I just launch my short bow?
You can knock your short bow or crossbow, and as you're as you're kind of like trying to look for something to kill, you can see a small squirrel just kind of like on a tree.
Okay.
Would you like to shoot the
take
squirrel?
aim.
Okay.
Yeah, because I mean, squirrel's a good dessert. 14.
14. Okay, you hit the squirrel straight in the spine, and it just gets pinned against this tree as you kill it instantaneously.
Sweet. Merciless kill.
Merciless. Yeah, no, it just fucking dies. Straight up dies. As you're pulling this the squirrel off of the tree, you can hear the sound of crunching bones, coming in just maybe 15-20 feet away from you at this point. As you can kind of see like the black dragon wormling just pulling this like what looks like a very large 150-pound plus deer, as it's just kind of like ripping its throat out.
God damn.
I'm going to assume the first story person I took the bolt out with the squirrel on it, and I looked at her and I caught the Zet.
And she just looks at you, and then goes back to trying to devour this very large deer.
I thought so. Some very impressive hunting, dear. You're very capable.
She's not paying you any mind.
It's fine. She's eating. I'm just gonna let her eat. It's not gonna if there's anything I've learned, you don't bother an eating animal or beast or person. Let him eat.
Or person.
I'm gonna sit down and nibble on one of my dry rations as I watch her. I'm gonna wait until she's done eating before I talk to her.
What feels like hours pass by, but it was only a few mere minutes as she kind of like devours the entire larger portion of this deer's torso, and she just lets out like a small little burp of satisfaction, and she kind of just as she just looks at you and says like, "Shall we return?"
We shall. Do you feel better?
Yes, as she kind of just like takes off again into the sky.
You're just gonna leave Mommy behind?
She has no idea what you said.
I feel kind of hurt. Can I yell out to Ashara? Does she hear me?
Nope.
Did she just fucking leave?
Mm-hmm.
Towards the city?
Towards Greenest.
Alright.
One can only hope.
The city, the
Oh,
town.
God. Ashara! I'm running over and trying to get her attention. Ashara, please!
You can kind of like see her flying 50 feet above you. She kind of like eyes you and slows down and starts to kind of like descend. As she lands on the floor, it's just like, yes.
Oh, Ashara, don't scare me like that. If I can't see you, I don't know are. I know that you are very capable of protecting yourself, but give me something. I do care about you, and I want you safe.
And she's just gonna shrug it all off, and she's just gonna kind of like do like a little trot next to you, as you make your way back towards Greenest. But you can tell that she's very impatient.
Can I speed up for her?
Yeah.
Do a little jog. I need the exercise.
I think we need to leave this
Yeah.
town.
Yeah, no, we do. I asked her, does she know anything other than Draconic? Do you speak anything else? Is it just Draconic?
She starts uttering a few words in common.
Would you like to learn the language of my people?
She kind of just like listens and as you start speaking.
Alright. Do you want to know what your name means?
Okay.
It means a woman destined for a great journey. Because I believe you are destined for greatness.
And she lets out like a very small little pleased purr, and she agrees with you, saying that one day she will be great.
I think you will make the world a better place.
She does not agree with you.
Ah! What do you mean she does not agree with me?
Yeah.
Darling, you don't know the pleasure yet of helping others. It's a wonderful feeling. It gives you purpose, happiness. She's got good in her, guys. She has it. It's there. When she saw that I was worried about her, she came down. She's literally impatient and battling herself, and she's here with me.
I don't think that's what that is. Carlos, is Droop a male or female dragon? Have we not?
Male.
Okay,
Male.
okay.
It's a male and a female. All right, we're gonna.
Can I go alone?
Do we see Kale and Droop?
Everybody is on the east side of town, preparing a very large amount of horses and the caravan, in preparation for your travel north.
So I guess we go back to the keep and we see nobody there.
No, you can see them clearly outside of town.
Oh. Alright, Ashara, I think we're gonna join our friends. Would you like to fly ahead and meet them? I know that Mummy's keeping you very far behind.
Okay, and she kind of like flies off, and she's kind of like circling the air, kind of meeting up with Droop as they kind of just like circle like ravens above the caravan, and they're playfully fighting and trying to tackle each other out of the air.
Guys, it's so cute! I know they can literally eat us, but they're so cute!
Can I still be in town and see if anybody knows about the old man?
The what?
That's
The
smart.
old man.
What old man?
The old
The
man
one
that
who
tried
tried
to
to buy
fucking
my
get a
dragon.
potion.
Oh, sure, yeah, you can ask around.
Hey, can I go to the mayor? See like if he knows anything?
The who?
The
The
mayor?
governor.
There's no
Oh,
mayor.
the governor, sorry. The governor.
Yeah.
Governor.
Okay, so Nighthill informs you that he has no idea who that gentleman was, but he seemed as if he was into apothecary, so he may just be looking for dragon parts.
Mm.
And he went towards the west side of town.
Oh, okay. And I'm guessing he's passing through. Like he's
Yeah,
not
he's
really-
just passing through. This is a very large. This village is a huge like
Like,
it's
point
kind of like
of
in the
travel.
middle of a trail, so people
Yeah.
travel through this place a lot.
Okay.
It's kind of like Phandalin. That's why if you look at the middle of town, that wide road is that wide
Yeah.
because that's for caravans and people to just kind of go through town.
Okay.
When I see Kale, can I talk to him?
Sure.
Kale,
Yes.
I don't know if you saw him, but when Ashara and I were leaving the village, this old man tried to buy her off me. He offered 3,000 gold. So he could use dragon parts for potions. Now, I'm not
That's-
saying I want to sell them. That's not why I'm saying this at all. Before you. Because I know how you get. You always assume the worst. I told him no several times. But I'm concerned. Because when he walked away, he said he would make those dragons his. No, I'm not too threatened because you're giant and scary and anything that tries to hurt. either of our dragons, we'll have to deal with you first because I'll probably be very far behind you. You're all much faster than I am. But I think it would still be better if you knew, and perhaps Droop too.
I will speak to him about it.
Yes. Ashara tried to light him on fire. Which probably isn't the greatest idea, but it was amazing. I whisper.
I don't think Droop is a very fire-savvy boy. He doesn't seem to drool a lot of acid.
Probably because you named him Droop.
Well.
Sounds very much like drool.
Well,
yeah, so they do inform me that black dragons are able to both breathe fire and spit acid.
Yes.
I say, yeah. When I was what a whelpling, I drooled as well. So
Like father, like son.
it's fitting.
Well, perhaps once Lucius returns, we should head over to El Turel.
Sure.
Did I ever send that message?
No, you did not, Tamilis. But unless you did it while Kale and I were off and we couldn't see you because we had no idea what you were doing because we were off feeding our dragons.
I mean, I thought that's what I was doing, so...
You were
Yes.
interrupted by the smithy.
Yeah.
Yeah. But for the sake of story, guys, black dragons, they're going to be breathing out acid 99%.
Yeah.
Anything that they breathe out from this point would just be acid. Okay. So do you guys want to travel to the next area?
Yes.
Sure.
So y'all couldn't convince the dragons to put the chains on?
I could not
I-
convince Droop yet, yeah.
Mine has not said whether or not she's okay with it. She alluded to it.
I'll try again once I get a moment to speak to him.
Okay.
Do we
Or-
want it whenever they're traveling, or do we only want it when they're going into town? Because I think I'd have a much easier time convincing Ashara if I only say when we're going into town.
You want to take him to town?
When we're going near a town.
Okay, better. I don't think a lot of people will be happy.
I don't think
seeing
we're going to
dragons
be able to get her into town, and I can't talk to my friends if I walk in with a dragon. I'm pretty sure they're not going to come out. Hold up. Ashara!
walk.
Call my name out.
Self.
So
Ashara.
as you call her out, you kind of like distract her during their play session, and Droop is just gonna tackle her straight out of the air, and they're both gonna come crashing down onto the ground. She's completely fine,
I
but
run over to check on her.
but she's just like, "What do you want?"
Oh, Ashara, I'm so sorry, darling. That's all my fault. Mummy's fault. We just got the chains, the leashes I told you about. Did you want to see them?
And she kind of eyes the chain up and down. She's like, "What is this for?"
Well, remember when Mummy said that she was worried about people trying to steal you?
Yes.
And remember when you and Mummy saw that very mean old man that you blew fire on? And we were talking about how he probably wanted to steal you.
Yes.
This is called a leash. And it's to keep people from taking you from me. So that way you're always near me. Now, Mommy does not want you to wear this when we are traveling, because she thinks that you deserve to be able to move around. But perhaps when it's time for us to sleep and near town, when I know there are other people around, you wouldn't mind wearing it, so that way Mommy doesn't feel so scared all the time and worried about you.
Roll persuasion.
Okay. I don't know which one to roll. 12.
She just looks at the chain and she just whips it out of your hands with the with her tail, and she says like, "I will not be bound."
Ashara, it's not for you to be bound. Technically, I'm the one being bound to you.
And with that, she's just gonna fly off straight back into the air.
She seemed okay with it earlier. These guys have a ridiculously high AC check for babies.
They're still dragons.
By the way, Jordan, we're gonna retcon the fire breath. We're gonna turn it into an acid breath.
To what?
So what?
Acid only. So when
Why
when
would
when
I
she
thought
when
that was both.
from what I can see, it's just acid. If they can breathe
Okay.
fire, it doesn't state that they can easily breathe fire.
Okay.
Because it looks like as wormlings, they're only acid.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Well,
When she was talking to Ashara,
I spent
was Droop on
200
the
gold.
ground as well, or was he also still flying?
He had pinned her down to the ground, and he was just kind of like strutting his stuff on the ground.
As she failed talking to Ashara, I say to Droop, Droop, please speak to Ashara. She is still your sister. I know you don't like the necklaces as well, but they are merely to keep you safe. We don't want people stealing you away from your belongings, do we?
And you're gonna have to roll persuasion. And with that, he's gonna look at you, and he's just gonna ignore you, and he's just gonna be like, if she doesn't want it, she doesn't have to do it. And then he's just gonna kind of like run around in a huge circle.
yeah.
Guys, they don't want the chains. Perhaps we can sell them later.
So I agree with Droop, and I tell him, I don't like for you to be chained either. But this is for all of our protection from the outside world. Remember, Droop, they are evil. People want you, and not for good. They don't want to give you things like I do, like or they want to give, like we want to also give Ashara. People don't want you for good. They want to do bad things to you. And we don't want those things to happen. But I am not going to force you to wear this. You really don't want to.
And
But I will keep them just in case there comes a time where I really need to keep you safe.
And with that, he's just gonna look at you, and he's just like, I think I can take care of myself. And he flies off to go
Oh,
play
man,
with
must be-
Ashara.
Must be a teenager already. The fucking teenage angst right there.
We got like 2 minutes of them purring and being adorable, and now they're teenagers. Was I this rude to my father?
Yes.
You hear an
I look
ominous
at-
voice
didn't
come from the
even-
sky that says, "Yes."
I look at
Father.
Rena, and I'm just like, I just look at Rena, I'm just like, at least they probably need more. You probably need more protection than they do, honestly. So
You're probably
don't
right.
worry too much about them.
I just don't like that the man wants them so badly, and I don't like that they're in the terrible twos.
She's barely a day old.
Terrible
she would
2
have
hours.
ripped that man to shreds. I'm not
You're right.
worried about.
I saw her took down a half-pound deer. It was incredible.
So,
Half-pound beer.
Yeah, she
150
can hunt on her own. We don't have to worry about feeding her. She can do
A half-pound beer.
It's 150
a
pounds.
pound. Sorry, you said a 100. Sorry, 150 pound deer. It was giant.
It's
Sorry.
a little deer.
Yeah, it's a half-pound deer. It's like
hundred-
this big.
Sorry.
She took out
retcon
she
that.
took
I
out
didn't say anything.
a deer mouse.
150.
And that's our next band name, Half Pound Deer.
I like that. I like that.
She
Put a half-pound
took
deer.
down a 150 pound deer by herself. I took down a squirrel. She wasn't
Guys?
very impressed.
All right, off of the like off D&D right now. I'm just on talking. Next story. We should try and do a goddamn warp tour, rock session. All of us being
Just
bards.
all bards.
Going
Just all
around.
All bards.
And we're
all
all pulling a
bards.
half-pound deer. All right, let's go back. That's all I wanted to say.
That's a one
fucking
shot.
great.
That should be a one
That's our
shot.
that's our
Yeah.
one shot then, yeah.
Oh yes, we're the adventurers known as 1 pound deer. Maybe you've heard of us.
Half pound deer. Half pound.
Half-pound deer.
Half pound
All
deer.
right.
Um,
So let's start heading off.
Okay, so as you guys are traveling due north, heading towards the. Oops, hold on. Gotta switch over. Oh no, wait, you guys are already on the short coast. So you guys are on the trail, heading north, passing by the town of Burdusk. You guys start heading back west towards the town of El Tural. And from a distance, as you're approaching this, you can see that El Tural has a very distinct thing about it. There's actually a very large light floating above the city. It illuminates the city day in and day out, and it can be seen clear across the green fields as you approach the town.
This is Burdusk, right?
This is El Tural.
Oh, El Tural. Okay.
You guys passed Burdusk.
Okay.
So, this light, from what you can tell, is kind of like a warding to keep things away. You guys can do a history check if you like.
Yeah. Warding, huh?
18 plus 6. Ah, 24.
So this town of El Tural, it's a rather large city. It overlooking the river. This light that hovers above it is actually painful to anything undead, and is visible from almost every single corner of Elturgard, which is this small region of the world, and El Tural being its capital city. Yeah, so you can kind of see it from a distance as if it's like a little star.
That's cool.
How pretty.
Yeah, how very pretty.
Who's gonna stay outside with the dragon?
Well,
I don't think we
so
should take them.
as you guys are getting closer and closer and closer and closer to El Tural, city walls growing ever larger. You can see that there's a large amount of caravans kind of like passing through, and as you come across one caravan, you can kind of see like people just kind of shrieking in horror as they point up to the sky, and they can clearly see two of these wormlings just kind of circling the sky, and they're just like, "There's dragons! Dragons!"
No,
As people start
no,
to kind of like scatter and like just completely avoiding anything you have to say, they start like heading off trail, and a few of them start accelerating their caravans towards El Tural too, and just screaming like, "We have to let the guards know there's dragons!"
Oh dear God. Ashara, Droop, come down here.
Yeah, we call them down as everyone starts losing their shit.
Okay, the dragons descend, both of them at the same time. They land with a very loud crunch on top of the caravan, and they're just listening as to what you have to tell them.
I'll let you go first, Kale. You're much more persuasive than I.
Droop, Ashara, we're going to go into this town. They are not fans of dragons. So I will stay out here with you. We will stay on the outskirts. So please do not continue to follow the caravan until they come back, okay?
Okay. And then they kind of just look at you and like, "And where shall we go?"
Just please stay near me. And then I kind of just like climb off the caravan.
Are we near a forest that they can hunt and play in and stuff?
You have a forest to the east of you. So right now you guys are you're visible from the town. This is the closest forest. This is actually going to be a few miles due east.
Okay, so I look at Kale. I was like, perhaps we can take him to the forest. Ashara.
Yes.
Ashara,
Yes.
did you want me to stay with you?
No.
Do you want your gems?
Yes.
Alright. I take out her precious stones and I leave them here for her. Do you want them in the sack or out the sack?
And then she kind of just like snatches them out of your hand with her own little claw, and she's just like, she kind of just like growls at you and then flies away.
I kind of pull the chainmail blanket that I have now, and I kind of rustle it, but not open. I rustle it and I look at Droop and I say, "Droop, I will be bringing your belongings, so do not worry about them."
Okay, and with that, you guys go your separate ways. Kale's gonna go towards the woods, correct?
Yes.
Okay. These dragons are gonna obviously not be chained down. They're gonna be flying free. As you're heading towards El Tural, you can see that people are like kind of talking amongst themselves. Like, "Did you hear about the dragons? Oh man, they were seen to the east. We haven't had a dragon in this area in a long time. you think it has something to do with those cultists? And obviously, word of these of the cultists that ransacked Greenus have circulated throughout this area. And as you're talking, you can see what looks like a very large caravan of guards kind of heading outside of this town. Easily 20 or 30 guards, kind of like on their own horses, just start running towards the east, where you left Kale.
Oh dear God! I think they're gonna go kill the dragons.
Someone should stop them.
Oh, I pull my horse and I go. I pull my horse and try to go intercept them.
Okay. You call to them, alerting them, and one of the captains, what seems to be a captain, kind of like stops and says like, "What do you want?"
I'm sorry. Is everything all right? We're a bunch of adventurers, and if there's a problem, we can help.
Nothing we can't handle. Apparently, there's 2 wormlings over to the east.
Yes, the babies. Oh, they're very friendly.
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 We were told they were black dragons. We all know that no chromatic dragon could ever be friendly.
See, that's what we thought too, but they were very nice. We gave them some gems, and they went on their way, and they're with the handler in the forest.
And with that, all the guards are going to kind of like turn their horses towards you. A couple of them taking out a few of their weapons, and the captain's just going to be like, do you mean to tell me that you have been taking care of black dragons?
We couldn't leave the babies all on their own.
It doesn't... Do you not know anything of dragons? Are you a fool?
I know that chromatic dragons are typically evil,
Yes.
and they worship Tiamat, but that's when they're raised by other dragons.
No. That's not how any of that works.
Well, that's what my friend, the Dragonborn, said. I'm not a Dragonborn, I'm an Elven.
Tell me, does your Dragonborn friend, does he carry a mask on him?
That's when I go ahead and interrupt him like, I'm sorry there, sir. She's been only 2 years outside in the real world.
He's right. I've lived in a village all my life with only people like myself, and I know nothing of the outside world other than my books. I've read a lot of books.
You guys are gonna have to roll for persuasion.
And to answer your question, no, he does not have he does not have a mask on.
Yes,
He has
Not
a
on
mask on
him.
his breast.
Not on him.
Yes, he does. Yes, he does.
Can you please roll for persuasion, Dan?
Can I assist him?
And also deception.
Can I assist him?
You can assist him, but he's probably better off on his own.
Y'all really should have had
Wait.
Lift talk to these guards.
We really should have. Wait. If I assist, doesn't that give him advantage?
24.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Hey.
okay, so they're persuaded and they're also deceived, and they're just like, okay, so your dragon friend over there is obviously just a fool, thinking he can take care of these black dragons, but we must do our duty. And any dragon within the perimeter of Baldur's Gate must be killed immediately.
It's
And with
nowhere
that-
near Baldur's Gate.
You guys are in the vicinity of Baldur's Gate. So with that, they're gonna start. It's like leave here, go upon your business. If you have nothing else to contribute, they're gonna just kind of start like marching towards the east.
Oh, sir, actually, we have plenty to contribute. Actually.
Okay, and he's like, speak, tiefling.
You know I'm a tiefling. Anyway, and I go.
Lucius, they can see you.
Well,
No, it's
demon.
because everybody calls him Demon
devil.
Face.
Devil.
Oh.
First, I thank you for the respect for me, sir. Secondly, and then I start telling him our journey and what has happened and how we've been fighting off the cult and all that stuff, and how if they really want to help, they could go ahead and help out and try and see if they could get Burgos, let us handle the dragons, and everything else will be heading that way as well.
Not Burdust. They're going towards
Baragast.
Baragast.
Yeah, so-
Baragast. Oh, it sounded like you said Burdust. Sorry.
Yeah, more or less I said that. Whatever, it's my character.
So he kind of looks at you as like, if you think you can handle these dragons, then bring me their heads in the next 5 hours, or else we march. We march east and we take care of the problem ourselves.
All right then. And I go, let's go, Rena. And we start walking off.
Which way are we going? Towards El Toro or towards the forest?
Towards east.
Okay. Guys, she speaks Draconic, Elven, and possibly Common now.
Okay, and the captain's gonna just be like, hold on. Take
What?
one of my men with you to make sure that you don't run off.
Oh dear.
With that, this big burly guy is gonna come out, huge beard, and he's just gonna be like, show me the way to the dragons.
Guys, I can't kill her. I've bonded.
And I go to the what seems to be the captain because we still don't know if he's a captain or not. And just tell her, could you just let our friends over at our wagon know where we're going? Let them know that they could keep going off. We're supposed to actually meet a friend that's supposed to help us with the cultists as well inside Elturel.
Okay, so he kind of just like looks over, and the only two people in the caravan and on these horses are Tamilus and Lift, so and Diondo, and Diondo. So he's just gonna be like, absolutely. And he lets you tell everybody about what's going on. And now Rena, Kale, and Lucius are gonna have to separate from the rest of the group and try to find some sort of way to convince this lone guard that they are in fact going to kill these dragons and bring back their heads. The guards start to kind of like post up. He sends a good chunk of them back towards El Turel as he and a few of his men just kind of like start setting up a small camp awaiting your return. But they stay posted out here just in case you aren't able to succeed in your mission and these dragons start making their way back towards the town.
Oh.
This is a nice change of story. Fuck. I'm sorry, Carlos. This is probably way off what you wanted us to do.
Well, I was sort of hoping I'd have been able to tell Leosin before we approached that we had to back dragons. But, you know.
You can utilize this time. You're still almost about a day's travel away from El Turel, or half a day's travel. So you can still send him a message if you like.
I figured we were gonna send one before we left Greenest.
Yeah, but, you know.
You know what? Cam?
Wait.
Speak up, woman!
I left my room like twice because the door kept freaking. Because someone kept knocking on the door, and then y'all was doing stuff. So.
Carlos, for story's sake, can we just assume that she already told him?
Yeah.
Because she was walking in and out. Yeah.
Yeah. So Leosin knows that you're on your way. As he's as he receives the message, he says like, well, when you finally arrive, just make sure you look for my paladin friend.
Okay. So I'm guessing.
Do we know the name of his paladin friend?
I believe I told you the name of his paladin friend.
Frick.
I think he might have said it. Yeah.
It should be Anthar Froom, in case you're
that's
wondering.
right. Yeah.
Anthar Froom.
Oh yeah, Anthar Froom. Yeah. Oh, Froom. I put two.
Yeah.
Froom.
Froom.
Paladin.
Anthar Froom. He's a dwarf.
A paladin of Torm.
Yeah, Torm.
I think he's a dwarf. I don't know. He looks like a dwarf. He might be human. He might just be a really fat guy. Okay. So at this point, Tamilus, Diondo, and Lift are all going to be heading towards town, and Lift is just going to be like, I told them they should have just gotten rid of those dragons.
Well, we'll see what happens.
Okay, and as Tamilus is traveling down with the caravan, and Diondo and Lift, she starts informing Leosin that's like, by the way, kind of forgot to tell you that we got 2 dragons in tow. And Leosin's just like, bloody hell. Do not bring the dragons anywhere close to this town. They will be killed in an instant.
Too late!
Yeah. Well, they're dragons. They're willful creatures. They do what they want.
Yep. So now we can decide what we want to do next. Would you like me to do the encounters in this town? While you guys go deal with your shit?
Yeah.
Can Dan, Troy, and I go off into a different chat room for a bit and talk about this?
Sure.
Hello.
Okay. Huh?
Dan's on the phone, and we'll move him into Final Fantasy chat.
Okay. Sure, let's go to Final Fantasy chat. Okay.
Oop, sorry. I took her out of the chat. So what do you think, Tam?
I think I should find Leosin right away, and maybe, because he's probably well known there, him and his paladin friend, they could probably help us with the situation.
They may be. So you enter town. Shit, I can't transition you to town. You know what? I'm going to transition you to town. So this is El Terrell. El Terrell is a hustling, bustling city. It's filled with a large amount of buildings and waterways, and it's alongside a river. You come across this huge. The town is completely guarded from all sides, aside from a small entrance from the east and a bridge, a drawbridge that kind of connects it to the south. A bridge that they can easily collapse and kind of like in case of a siege. As you can see, it looks a lot like New York City. It has like a central
Yeah.
park. Yeah. So think of it like that, but with a lot of smaller buildings.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So. But yeah. So as you enter town, yeah. So as you they're like yelling at each other.
Yeah.
Yeah. So as.
Yeah.
Guys, your voices are too loud. Jordan, you're too loud. They're like yelling at each other. There you go. Okay, they're back to normal. So yeah, so as you're, so it's a large, orderly city. It overlooks the river of Chiantha. The entire city is just filled with merchants, river traders, farmer markets. You can see clearly now that there's just this huge magical light that hovers above it. You saw it from a distance, but as you get closer, it's just this beautiful. It just feels like this floating sun right above the city. You kind of start asking around town, like, hey, have you guys heard of like Leosin? A lot of different townsfolk just don't know who the hell you're talking about. They're just like, we don't know of any half-elf monks named Leosin or Lanthar.
Oh, yeah. What was his name? Oh my goodness. I already forgot his name. Paladin.
His name is Anthar Froom.
Anthar Froom.
Or From.
From?
But it's F-R-U-M-E, so I pronounce it as Froom.
Okay, so Froom.
So you ask around for Anthar Froom, and a lot of people are just like, oh, yeah, Froom? Yeah, you can find him over at Froom's faction. He's part of the Order of the Gauntlet. You can find him over at a tavern called a Pair of Black Antlers.
It's called a Pair of Black Antlers?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's somewhere near the garden. So this city is so huge that I'm just gonna say that you guys are gonna be able to get clear directions to this place and find what you need. Are you guys done talking amongst each other?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jordan?
Mm-hmm.
Jordan, by the way, you were yelling so loud that I couldn't hear it somewhere. What?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Are you mad?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay, so Tam knows where the paladin is.
Okay.
Oh, this is a nice town.
Yeah.
Oh, it looks like Dragon Age, the second one.
Oh, I see what you mean. A bit, yeah.
So I should head straight to the Pair of Black Antlers
Yeah.
and try to
That's all I heard when I got back. Black Antlers. I'm like, what the?
yeah, and try to find Leosin and the Paladin at Anthar Froom.
So, Anthar Froom.
Anthar Froom.
Okay, so you come across a tavern, and above it you can see what clearly looks like a very large pair of antlers that are painted black, giving it its name, a pair of black antlers.
Wow. Makes a lot of sense.
So as you walk inside this tavern, you can clearly see Leosin is just kind of like sitting down, and he sees you walking through the building. He's just like, "Oh, Soundless, welcome. You found me."
Yes.
Sam is a double ganger, don't believe him.
So, yeah. I don't even know what to do.
Roleplay, damn, roleplay.
No, this is me roleplaying. I don't know what to do.
Let him know the situation.
Half of us are in the east right now.
That's right. Just tell him the situation. See what
Exactly.
See what he thinks about it. Like,
Just
don't know
tell him
what's
about the
going on.
dragons. Like legit,
Don't
just tell
tell
him
her.
what happened with the dragons.
Okay, so we went back to the Raiders camp. They were all gone. They left just a few guards behind, a few kobolds, to watch over 3 dragon eggs that they weren't able to transport.
And what of the gold? What of the horde?
We were able to capture one of the leaders, what's her name?
Mondath.
Mondath, and she told us that they moved the horde.
They moved the horde. Where did they move the horde to?
Well,
You tell him where they moved the horde to.
yeah, that's got a shitty memory, guys. Really bad. Yeah, I still have the map and all the documents too. I picked them up. Can hand those over too. Yeah.
Okay, well.
But she wasn't able to tell us how close they were to summoning Tiamat or what they were doing there. She said that she was basically kept in the dark for the most part.
Okay. Well, he thanks you for all the information. This is more information than he could have ever wished for. He's glad that you were able to imprison one of their leaders. And he tells you that he's gonna relay this information immediately to Anthar, and he's gonna have you just kind of like wait here at the tavern for his arrival.
But what are we gonna do about the 2 black dragons in the forest to the east?
Well, he tells you, like, if you can send them a message, let them know that they're kind of on their own. My people don't befriend dragons.
We just didn't want to leave them there with the possibility that the cultists would come back for them. Then they'd have 3 black dragons.
Don't tell me only 2. I kill without even like yeah.
Well, he does inform you that it doesn't matter what you try to do. He's never seen a good black dragon. And that you would be better off letting them fly away than trying to take care of them.
Yes. That's what I've been saying.
And with that, the camera's gonna fade to black. Your mental camera's gonna fade in, and you're gonna see Kale just kind of sitting on the floor.
Carlos, I just typed something out and sent it to you.
He's masterful.
Literally perfect timing. You for that to end. I literally just sent something to you. Can you please read that?
Okay.
I gotta send one of these guys a message.
It says Troy is a little baby loser, and he eats little baby potatoes because he's a baby, and baby carrots.
Okay.
Thanks, Troy.
So as Rena and Lucius are just kind of like awkwardly traveling with this guard, they're like trying to make small talk with them, and he's just
I do.
Yeah, and he kind of just like keeps looking off into the distance. Just you can tell he's kind of grinding his teeth in his mouth. But what does Lucius have to say to this guard?
So you always lived over there at El Terrell?
Sorry, what'd you say, Dan?
I said, has he always lived in El Terrell?
He informs you just like El Toro is my home. It is my life. and I will defend it with everything I have. And he just doesn't follow up with that. Just says that and just keeps fucking writing.
I probably need a couple of tanks to get you gold to open up a loose lips.
This sounded oddly sexual, Lucius.
Okay,
Not in that way.
So he kind of just like does like a small smile as Rena says that, but he's gonna keep kind of traveling on his horse. You guys travel for what seems like about an hour. When you come across what seems like a large assortment of dead things on the floor and big old buckets of meat just kind of like on the floor, you can see that it's the same buckets you got from Greenest, but Kale's nowhere to be found.
Well, I believe we're getting close at least.
Yeah, and on the as you get closer, your passive perception allows you to note that there is a note on this bucket, and it says in very crude writing, as if like kind of like written in a hurry. It just says like when to go find a place for these whelps to call a home. And then it just says, and it's just signed Kale.
I look over at the guy and I was like, well, I can't really bring back dragons' heads if there are no dragons.
And the guard he kind of just like looks at both of you. He's like, "This was your plan all along, wasn't it? You're aiding this Kale."
We literally had no way to tell him that we were coming.
He kind of looks at you up and down, and he just looks at he looks at Lucius, and he's like, "Tiefling, what manner of person are you?"
A true one, I believe.
Do you know magic?
It's
Were
not
you able to alert the Dragonborn of our coming?
I wish I had that kind of magic, mate, but no, I don't.
You're gonna have to persuade him.
Okay.
Big money, no whammies.
Okay, and he's just like he kind of like eyes you up and down, and he's just like, it seems as if your friend the Dragonborn has made a very brash and unwise decision. We must return to my captain at once and inform him there's a fugitive walking this trail, 2 dragons in tow. He will be caught. And because of his decision today, he will be killed immediately on sight.
No,
What was the color of his scales again?
Green.
A green dragonborn. I will let the captain know.
No.
Roll for deception though.
19.
Okay, and with that, he kind of just says like, "Let us return." And
That's
you
a
guys,
16. No, joke.
and
I never get this high on a charisma check.
and with that, he's just gonna like kind of like walk and like kind of like go at a steady pace in front of you, as he as he just kind of like has a moment of disbelief. It's like I really hope that he is not helping these cult of dragons that have been ravaging our lands for the last few months.
I seriously doubt it. He tried to kill like half of them.
Oh, killed them.
More than half. I think he killed almost all of them, to be honest.
Probably. He's a tank. He's pretty strong.
What's a tank?
I'm going to say that. It's like what kind of tank is it?
You're a brilliant bastard, and I love you. I take back every mean thing I've ever said to you. Thank you for not having me kill Ashara.
I don't know why, Jordan, your bandana looks like you have white hair.
Yeah, you know what? I was thinking that I was like, why she dye her hair white? And I realized
it looks like she's wearing
it was a
fucking
bandana.
a wig.
It's for
It's 'cause
D&D.
she's-
It's for D&D.
It's Grandma Jordan.
Oh, actually, it's very fitting since Rena has white hair. Okay.
Exactly.
Okay, so with that, you guys meet the guard, and you meet with the captain
horns on?
and the horns.
I said should have put horns on them
Horns on? Why?
because I'm a tiefling.
Well, they know you're a tiefling.
I have to pee real quick.
Okay, so the guard informs the captain of everything that transpired, and he's just like, "Your friend is either a betrayer or one of the most foolish men I've ever met."
I'll take the latter.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm pretty sure he's just foolish.
Okay,
He's
men,
the one.
let us go back to town and inform the entire guard that we must send word to all the villages to look out for a green dragonborn. And with that, the guards kind of just like wish you a grand old day and said like, "Do you need safe passage back to town?"
No, I think we're probably capable, right, Lucius?
We should be fine, lad. Go ahead. But I go look at the big guy. It's like, I owe you a drink, sir.
Are you asking him on a date, Lucius?
I'm not asking him on a date. He's been with us for about a couple hours. I might as well just give him a drink for doing all this trouble. Ain't not even giving him dragons.
I look over to the guy that we were walking with, and I give him a little wink.
Okay, the guard kind of just like shrugs it off, but you can tell that he's kind of smiling, and then he kind of just like rides off into the distance.
Look at you two, charming the guards.
I made a friend.
You guys, after the guards all ran away, I was like, Lucius, did you see that? 2 years out my village, and I'm already lying like
Like a what? Like you went kind of like a blank for
like
a
a
second.
pro, like a pro.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I didn't know you had it in you, to be honest.
I didn't know I had it in me either, but I remembered. It helped that I remembered the first time we saw Kale. He was so dirty, he looked green.
So in a sense, you're not really lying. It's actually exactly how you saw him.
Exactly. Now let's hope he takes a bath.
Somewhere, Kale is extremely upset.
All right. Perhaps we should try to find Tamalis and Lift and Diondo, but more so Tamalis, because
Okay,
I
all
feel
of
like as of now she's the brains of the operation.
All of a sudden, you guys can hear a voice inside your head as Tamlin is just like, "Hey guys, I found Leosin. He's inside town."
What was that?
What?
Did you just hear that too?
Dion's
Yes,
just
I
like, Well, I think she can you only communicate with one person at a time?
I think so.
Oh, okay. Who do you choose?
Oh yeah. I guess Brenda.
Alright, let's see how it is.
Ha ha.
Okay, so with that message, you guys are ever so determined to kind of to book it straight toward. You guys make a beeline straight to El Toro, but as you're coming across the password, you can see what looks like a person just kind of standing in the middle of the road, just wearing these tattered robes, just completely tattered. They're covering their entire body covered in these robes as you're just standing in the center of the thing. Your horses kind of like come to a halt as this person just kind of just stands in the center.
I nudged Lucius.
You there? Everything alright? You seem tatted up a bit.
My hand's on my sword.
Okay.
As Dan questions him and asks him what's wrong, the only thing you hear back in return is exactly what Dan just said, but you can clearly tell that it is coming from this other figure.
Yeah. So this figure is just kind of standing in the center of the road, this huge light beaming behind them, the huge cityscape kind of like going, the entire land is going dark, but this ominous like light source in the middle of the city is just kind of like casting a shadow on him as another voice that sounds almost exactly like Lucius just speaks back at him.
I don't like this.
Did I just hear myself a little bit?
You did hear yourself just a bit, darling.
And as Rena says that, she hears the same words mimicked back to her,
Could I do
but in her own voice. But
Can I
it's
do it?
still coming from this figure.
Could I do a check?
What kind of check would you like to do? What are you checking for?
See if I know what type of like person or creature or thing that's talking that,
Okay.
that can mimic our voices? To see if I
You
know
can do. Well, are you checking for magical stuff?
not mad like to see if there's any mimics like a creature
History.
animal. History, I
You
guess.
can do an insight check. Go for it. I just want to make sure
doing
what you're looking for.
I'm doing an Arcana check.
Okay.
17.
Okay. So Rena can tell just by looking at this thing. She uses like her insight into magic to kind of tell that what is repeating back to her is not magical. Whatever it is, it is the individual. And Lucius just kind of looks up and down. He can't see what is underneath these robes, and he can't see if he's unable to determine if what is inside this robe is malicious or not.
Are you friend or foe?
Are you friend or foe?
So as she says this, all she hears, she doesn't hear the returning voice of herself to say exactly what she said back to her. All she hears is what is essentially the sound of an owl hooing. And all she hears is the singular who.
Well, you
When
Duff,
you're
we're talking
trying
to you.
so hard not to mitigate.
Yeah, I know. I'm like, motherfucker.
That's not what I asked. I asked. Oh, who are we?
We're asking you.
I think he might be asking who we are.
Well, we asked first.
You got a point. You tell us who you are first, and then we'll tell you who we are.
He kind of just you can see that the head is moving back and forth, a very confused look as you just hear, "Who?"
So as you continue speaking to him, he says "who" one more time, but in an amalgamation of what is but both of your voices trying to form a sentence. He responds with, "We are who? Who are you?"
Your name is who?
And he responds
You are
with
who?
he responds with who in the sound of an owl hooing.
I think he's a mimicker.
So as
Guys,
as
just,
they
just as an aside, this seems like a very scary Doctor Who episode premise right now, and I'm not okay with it.
so as he starts to get frustrated with them questioning him, he pulls his robe just over his jet black beak and just over his beady black eyes, just to reveal a slight ruffle of dirty black feathers.
Like a doll's eyes.
And he just looks at him and he says, "Who? I am who? Who are you?"
It's a
Rena.
nice way
Pleasure.
to get a new character in there, Troy.
Yeah.
I like it. I go, oh, well, I am Lucius.
Keep pronouncing Lucius's name differently, which is hilarious.
Lucius, yes.
It's either
Lucius.
Lucius or Lucius.
Lucius.
Lucius?
Fuck, fine, Lucius. Fine, whatever. Fuck it.
Lucius.
Lucius.
Seems like I can't. Looks like I can't say Lucius correctly. So
I kept saying.
See,
I thought you were saying Lucius. I kept saying Lucius.
that's because I can't say the other way. But I actually fucking wrote
Lucius?
it down. So I've got. Yes, I can't say that for some reason. So I'll just say
Alright,
Lucius.
Lucius.
Dude, think Sean Connery. Lucius.
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 So,
Lucius. All right,
so-
Lucius.
So as they're introducing themselves to who, he just seems a little disheveled, and he's just standing out here in the dust by himself, and he asks them, and then when he speaks, every time he speaks, it's an amalgamation of voices you've never heard before, and of sounds that are different creatures. Nothing sounds like one voice. But he asks, "Need help? Am am Sellsword. Can help fight with. Do you need?
I think he's asking. He's a man for hire.
We're not looking for hiring anyone. We are looking for help if you'd like to kill some cultists and save the world.
Help. Help get money.
You can get money from them, but we won't really have money for you.
I have killed. Can kill again. For money.
for that money.
Oh, I ain't gonna pay. Lucius. Is that how you want it said, Dan?
Sure.
Dan, Carlos, I'm gonna be typing you things right now in roll 20.
Okay, that's fine. In roll 20?
Yeah.
Okay.
Listen, who? I have literally paid 200. Well, I haven't, but our group has already paid 200 gold pieces for useless items. We don't really have enough money to be paying for a sellsword, but we are always looking for a new companion.
You said useless? Because doesn't Kale have the chains on him?
No. Tamalis did last time I checked.
I took one. I took one and you took one.
Yeah.
Oh, I still have one then.
Okay. You want to? You know what? For the sake of story, you want to say you just left one near the bucket of meat. I don't see any messages, Troy. Are you sending me stuff?
They're very secretive. You gotta.
I'm whispering to GM.
I don't. Oh, whoops. You know why? It's because I'm looking at the wrong window.
How do you do that?
It's slash W space GM is the whisper to GM. And then slash GM space and then whatever the dice roll directly to the GM.
Oh.
Okay, I don't know how to whisper to you though.
It would be just send it to me in Discord. That's fine.
Dan, god damn it.
All right, it worked. All right, good.
Okay.
I want to try that.
Okay, Troy. Let's see.
I mean, I rolled. I mean, you don't have to tell me anything. You can just do it or not.
Yeah, I'm just responding to your first question.
Oh, all right. Well, that
Yeah.
part doesn't matter anymore.
Okay. So as you guys are kind of like talking amongst yourselves, all of a sudden, Lucius kind of just like looks next to him, and all of a sudden, who is just sitting directly next to him. Within like a blink of an eye. Nobody saw him move from where he was. You looked forward, he was there. You looked to the side, and he was immediately next to Lucius.
My blade's out.
What in the shite? I just jump off my horse. and then out of nowhere you hear a very faint voice saying, "Zoeldo," in Diondo's voice.
So, who is just sitting there? But the thing is that who's very short. So he's sitting next to where Lucius was sitting, which I'm assuming was actually like where the reins of the horses were. And he's kind of just letting his feet hang because he's like 5'3", so he's really short, and he's kind of just like letting his feet hang, kind of kicking them with like a childlike aesthetic.
It's like, you damn crow, you gotta give me a heart attack.
Call him a crow.
Yes, he did.
Oh man.
So my head
taste of his own medicine.
my head kind of cocks in his direction, as like a bird would, like as a crow's head would, just at his attention. And as he slightly just opens his beak, you can hear the sound of laughter, but his beak's not moving. It's just slightly ajar. And then he just responds to him. Crow, huh? Likewise, demon face. Once again, all of it in different voices. None of them from the same source.
I'm laughing right now, and I'm sheathing my sword because it doesn't look like he's trying to kill us yet. It still has my hand on the hilt.
I go ahead and laugh myself. I go, Ah, touche, mate. You got a point there. My apologies on that. What are you then, if not a crow? Crow man? Can I inspect further to see if I know what he is now?
I mean,
no,
I could just tell him. I
Yeah.
kind of just like my head once again twitches and cocks forward, just peer forward, not looking at anything directly, and I kind of just pull my my sleeves back, and I show him my my dirty black like jet black feathers. I'm just really just like essentially just a black bird, and I just tell him I am Kenku. We are but bird people.
Oh, the Kenku. I've heard of your kind. I don't think I've ever seen one though until now. This is incredible.
Do I
And
know
he-
what a Kenku is?
They
I mean, you do
they're-
now.
They
I
are
told you you're
they're
purple.
known across the realm as a particular kind of race. With how much information you know about them, you're not entirely sure.
And I kind of laugh at I kind of just laugh at what Lucius had to say, and I just tell him, you'd never see me if I didn't want to be seen.
Well, after what just happened, I'm pretty well sure I wouldn't. What kind of sorcery was that, by the way, mate?
Not sorcery. That's all I tell him. Just not sorcery.
Are you a rogue?
And my head kind of cocks back at her. My body turning a bit, 'cause I'm not an owl. It doesn't turn
Yeah.
all the way by itself. And I say, I just repeat, but in a more, I just repeat it, but not in a, but in a more confident way. Not sorcery. But I don't fully answer her question.
All right. I understand. We all have secrets. Now, how about answering this a bit straighter so we can understand? Are you interested in helping us defeat a cult that's trying to kill everything?
Who don't care about cult? Who can kill and take money?
You can have your share of the gold. If you're willing to help.
And he just responds once again in a very confident, money.
All right. I'm assuming that you're riding with Lucis.
Nope.
I'm giant.
Rena, the holy god, ancient greatness. All hail Rena. All hail her and her greatness.
Rena, not Reyna. Rena.
He
Right.
doesn't answer her.
Lie.
His head just cocks forward, once and twice, just looking forward, just not answering her. And just conceals his whole head again, like it once was.
All right. Lucis, do you want to ride with me, or are you riding with the Kenku? With who?
I'm alright riding with the Kenku if he doesn't mind.
This is your horse.
You're quite into straddling men lately.
Yeah, you're on a
Taking
horse, by
Lift's
the way.
job. I think you're taking
Wow.
this job.
Oh, I thought we were sitting like on the caravan.
No, I know you
No.
thought, but no, they're each on a horse.
No,
so
you-
you're
you
literally
might-
sitting on his horse, Troy.
Hi,
Yeah,
I'm
you
just
literally-
like behind him.
Yeah, you're right behind his
Are you
horse.
gonna gently wrap your arms around him?
No.
Just no.
Well, all right then. I guess we should go ahead. You're not gonna kill us, right? Who? We're good. Me not dead.
He doesn't respond.
I
Carlos, do you want me to get you anything, like a picture or something?
already put a picture for you there.
Or do I have an icon? Let's see it.
Yeah.
Oh, it's probably because you don't have sight.
I'm gonna roll an insight.
Oh, I see it. I see it. Okay. I just don't have it clicked on.
24. Is he gonna kill us in our sleep?
He is
I feel
not,
like he only cares about money.
he is not gonna kill you in your sleep. You can see that while he is not the most honorable bird, he's still true to his word. So if he says like he just wants to join you for some treasure, that's all he wants.
Okay.
Just
I
make
was
sure you give him.
wondering how
Just
you
make
were
sure,
gonna play.
just make sure you give him treasure though.
You know what? During her during this ride into town, you can I kind of just cock my head just a bit more at her. And after like a while of not responding, I respond in what is seemingly not another language, but it's an odd thing he would say, and nobody else really understands it, but it's meant directly for Rena, and she can understand it.
So
Because
Elven.
it's sort of something you've learned along the way of being a rogue, and it's just a secret message, and what
Okay.
can only be ascertained as a thieves' cant.
Cool.
And he just lets you know that he is friendly.
Okay.
I'm
So
gonna get along with this one. I respond back.
so
Good to know.
Rena did roll a history check. So I'm gonna just say what she knows about Kenkus. Kenkus, they're a flightless avian race. Obviously humanoid. They're somewhat selfish and secretive in nature, according to what you know about them. Although they're still individual, entities, so they may vary from time to time. But they're always looking to acquire like some sort of wealth and power. They operate in like very small gangs or groups, I guess, small murders, because they're crows. But they often kind of hovel towards larger cities, especially in the south area of Faerun, which is actually where you guys are right now. And they're not really like publicly known, as they kind of like operate more as like spies and assassins or thieves. So it's very fitting that this particular Kenku is a thievish rogue.
How do we know he's not a spy for the cultists?
You don't know. You'll just have to trust him.
No, God. Okay. Remind me, did the message Tamala sent us, did it tell us where to find her?
Yes, it told you exactly where to find her. You guys are just gonna end up over here at the black antlers.
Okay.
So as you come in, you see Leosin just kind of like sitting at this in this tavern with Diondo, and they're kind of having like a drinking match. Monk to monk.
Oh, Lord.
Leosin is almost unable to walk, as Diondo just kind of keeps sloshing him down as if it's water. And at one point, Leosin's just kind of annoyed. He's just like, "There's no way that you're out drinking me, human." And he kind of like grabs Diondo's and he drinks it, and he kind of like spits it out. And what he thought was actually ale, it was just Diondo drinking pure liquor. So at this point, Leosin's just like, "I retire," and he kind of just puts it down, and he just kind of slumps into his chair and he knocks out.
God damn.
Yo! I wave over to them,
Hey.
and I plop down. And I look at what's left of Leosin's drink, and I take it.
What happened?
Kale's gone. He left with the dragons. By the time we got there, he was all gone. Nothing left, just a note saying that he was going to find them a home. I don't think that's the last we saw of him. But we made a new friend. Who?
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 Where?
There! And I point over towards the shadowed, creepy fucker who walked in with Lucius and I.
Yeah. And as like Tamlis kind of like peers over, he's not there. And then she kind of looks behind her, and he's right behind her. He's like, "Hi."
I don't jump. Like little squeaky noise.
He does that a lot, and I down my drink because I'm like, I need a drink. I'm done with this shit.
Nice to meet you. Who?
And I just respond to her. "Who? Nice to meet you too." The "two," however, was not from her voice, as the rest of the sentence was. "Two" is just some random voice. You have no clue who it belongs to.
It's like, Who nice to meet you too.
Or are you always going to do that?
I respond to her the same way. Respond how? The how not being of someone's voice that she recognizes.
So, based off of your history
I
check,
need another drink.
you can tell that this is actually just how he speaks. A lot of the Kenkus are known for their mimicry.
Alright. So he has a regular voice. You have a regular voice.
No,
No,
Gru
no,
does
no.
not have a regular voice.
Oh.
Kenkus, they use mimicry to speak.
Yeah.
Got
They
it.
they use those words or speak. So I understand common and everything, but I
Got it.
don't have my own voice. I've accumulated voices throughout my years.
Understood. So if I talk a lot, you could literally just sound like me all the time.
Oh,
Yes.
he could already sound like you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All the time?
Yeah.
What's
Or
your
I thought
voice?
you can only mimic the words that he's heard.
Yeah, but eventually I will hear you speak all words.
Alright.
That's
Yeah.
why when I said like who, and I know for sure, none of you guys have said how, so you know I said how in a different voice.
Alright. How? There you are. Now you have more words. Now, barkeep, another drink, please. How much?
He kind of just looks you up and down and just like, it looks like you've been through a lot.
Yes,
This one's on the
very much.
house. And he hands you a very large glass. And he's just like, friends of Leosin are friends of mine.
I look at him and said, bless you, sir. You're literally the best person on this planet at the moment, and may Sahani keep you and your family good forever.
Oh, it's fine. I'm
And I
putting it.
down
I'm
it.
putting it. I'm putting it on his tab.
I
And he
down
just
it,
points at the
like,
blackout Leosin.
Cool. Perfect. Down it. You've never seen an elf like me. This dainty tiny little elf just fucking finish this drink.
He kind of just like he's just like cleaning the table, eyeing you like intently, like Jesus Christ.
I will tell you all that in my village, drinking is definitely a thing.
So, as you guys are just kind of like drinking heavily, a rather large fellow kind of enters the room. You can tell by his demeanor that this can be no other than Antharr From, and he kind of just comes in like barreling like, ha ha! Oh God, what the hell happened to Leosin? It's like he kind of slaps him a little bit. And he's like, oh. Which one of you did a drinking match with this, with my monk friend over here? And
The other collectively.
Ah, that was the other
Only
monk.
Biondo.
huh?
Mhm.
Yeah, Deonda just kind of walks up and is like, and he kind of just like sits back down and just like, that man
can't beat
outdrank
him.
Leosin? Wow, I'm
He
impressed.
spends all his money on drinks. He literally never has any money. Ever.
Never
it's
has any
all-
money? Sounds
it's
like my
all
kind of
alcohol.
guy. Ha ha!
Well,
And-
if you never like any money, perhaps you can buy yourself a drink.
And he kind of just looks at you, and he laughs again, and he's just like, another round for my new friends!
I like him. What's your name?
My name is Antharr From. And
We've
I am...
been looking for you. I'm already.
Oh, I know you've been looking for me. Leosin sent word, obviously, before he blacked out into the Nine Realms, or into the Nine Hells. So what brings you over here? I was told you know exactly where the hoard of dragon treasure is going to be, and he says it rather loudly, and everybody just kind of like perks up, like, holy shit, this guy's just fucking screaming out secret information. He's like, and he can see like everyone's worried looks for a second. He's just like, don't worry, everybody here is part of the Order of the Gauntlet. We're all trying to find out more information about what's going on.
Wait, Carlos, really?
What?
Really? He's part of Order of the Gauntlet?
Yep.
Timing.
Yeah. Right.
Isn't that what Kale's supposed to be
Yeah.
with?
Yeah. So and he kind of just like looks at you guys and he's like, is everything okay? And then Liv's just like, wait, is Leosin part of the Order of the Gauntlet too? It's like, oh no, this guy will never make it into the Order. He's not as handsome as I am. We want to let in the amazing in here. He's part of the Harpers. But that's
The what?
that's information for another time. You'll have to talk to Leosin about that. Of
You know about the Hoppers.
course, everybody knows about the Harpers. Just good luck finding them.
Yes, can't find them anywhere, can we? Not even right in front of your face.
So he kind of just like asks you to like share your journeys. Each of you kind of given like brief summaries about all of the things that you've accomplished, from everything from the Wave Echo Cave to dealing with the brass dragons to murdering people and doing all these fantastic things along your journey.
Well, not murder hobos.
It's like, well, no, because you guys actually have a place to live now. Yeah, so he kind of enjoys and revels in your accomplishments, and he's thoroughly impressed with each and every single one of you. And but he has one question. It's like, so you said you took dragon eggs?
They're gone.
They're gone. Ooh. Thank God, any dragons that enter this city would have been killed on sight.
Yes, we learned the hard way.
Well, I wish for you to stay the night. And I have rooms prepared for all of you here in town. Feel free to seek out any extra provisions, although it's getting quite late in the day. So maybe tomorrow morning we can go around and see what else we can do.
I do want to sell some things. Is there probably a place that will buy a couple of expensive items? And perhaps some chains. Should we keep the chains? Do we want to keep the chains?
My sweet elf, this is El Terrell. We are a hustling and bustling city. Anything you need, there's somebody here who has it.
Perhaps I'll do that in the morning. I'm sorry?
I need an elephant?
Is that what you said?
Oh, man.
He kind of just eyes you.
Wait, did he call me beautiful, elf? Did I hear that correctly?
He said lovely, but yes.
Oh, perfect. I like him.
and he's just like an elephant. I mean, I don't even want to begin to ask why you would need an elephant, but there's a lot of merchants that travel through this town. Maybe somebody may know where you can get an elephant. But I know I don't have one, although that sounds kind of fun. Maybe me and you can go riding elephants together one day.
That is the plan.
Sir, I like you, and if you were ever near our village, it would show you the most wondrous of revelries and times.
That sounds like you're seducing him.
Oh no, I'm gay.
Oh, it sounded like you're seducing him for a second. Yeah, so...
No, just literally moon elves are known for just freaking partying. Yeah.
Party! He just like, party! So yeah, so Anthar's gonna use this as an opportunity to kind of just like pick up Leosin with one hand. It's like, I'm gonna go dunk this monk in some ice water. But I'll return in about an hour. Maybe less. We have some important things to discuss. And with that, he kind of just heads into this back room, and you guys are just there drinking, talking about everything that has been going on, about how you completely lied to these guards and made them head in a different direction, looking for a green dragonborn.
We saved Kale's off.
But yeah, so as you're talking, the evening starts getting later and later, and one of the squires that works here in the tavern kind of pulls you all aside and says like, I need to take you to a room requested by Froome. And you all just kind of look around, and he's just like, the room's in the back. Allow me to show you the way.
All right.
Okay, so you all just follow him. He shows you to a private space off of the tavern's common room, but he closes the door as you enter. And as you enter the room, it's actually Froome just sitting there in his armor. Leosin is just kind of sitting at the table, just like a litter of pitchers filled with dark red wine sitting in front of him, and he's just kind of like sipping on his own glass. He's just like, hair of the dog, right? And but it seems as if like the happy-go-lucky paladin you met earlier, his face is kind of strewn about with a serious expression. He doesn't seem as if he has like an evilish intent. He just seems very stern. But he kind of just sits there in front of me. He's like, my friends, we have important business to discuss.
All right.
And at this point, you know almost as much about it as we do. But thanks to you, we know twice as much today as we did 10 days ago. But something rotten is afoot. We have no formal organization to oppose these rascals, at least not yet. We're looking on that. But we need people like you, people who know how and when to fight, and how and when to keep their heads down and observe. We can't promise you anything except long days filled with danger and stress. But what else could be better than that, huh?
I mean, I don't think there's anything that could be stressful than watching your friends die. So I'm down. I've already seen that multiple times.
I go and look at Ren. I'm like,
I can't see what face you're giving me because your camera's off, but
what? My camera's off?
yeah.
His camera's on
been
for me.
Okay, hold up. Refresh. It's been off for me since the beginning.
So at this point, Anthar is he's gonna just be like he's gonna tell you about his Order of the Gauntlet and how the Order of the Gauntlet and the Harpers have kind of like joined hand in hand to try to stop these cultists. They normally don't work together, but they're working together just this time so that they can kind of, because they don't have an organized front for these Cult of the Dragons, and they've been sharing information amongst each other, and he's thoroughly impressed that Leosin was able to gather this much information. And Leosin's just sitting at this table, is just explaining what the Harpers are, saying that they're a dedicated group of people, kind of trying to further equality and justice, and to keep power out of the hands of those who don't deserve it in the realm.
I put my hand out and say, "Pleasure to meet you. I'm the Watcher."
And he looks you up and down, and he's just like, an initiate.
Yes, sir.
Okay. It's good to know one of my own is amongst you. And with that, he kind of like has like a huge smile on his face, and he feels kind of like a sense of relief as he welcomes you with like a very sturdy handshake, but he's kind of holding you in the forearm, and he's just like, we will accomplish great things. We will stop Tiamat from reaching our realm.
Agreed. Yeah. We can't let this evil rot onto the earth.
And with that, he's also going to explain that that the Harpers, although a rather large group, their agents are free to follow any course of action that they see fit, as long as it kind of like coincides with their vision. But they're loosely organized. They don't have like a home base of operations. They're just kind of like an eclectic group of spies and agents that just work for the greater good.
And I look over, like, sorry guys, I never told you, but this is a thing.
Mm-hmm. I'm not surprised.
Sorry, it was a secret. Liv knew.
Liv knew, but not us. How come?
He was there. He turned them down.
And Lift is just gonna look up. He's gonna just slowly pull out his flute, and he's just gonna fucking start playing and ignoring everything that she just said.
I mean, Liv didn't know. He knew nothing.
Yeah.
His alter ego knew. The other Liv.
Yeah, so Anthar Froom is also going to go into a small detail about who the Order of the Gauntlet really are. While his order kind of represents a lot of what the Harpers' principles are, the two organizations are very, very different from each other. While the Harpers are more about the greater good and equality, the Order of the Gauntlet represents and emphasizes truly on faith, their vigilance, and the constant struggle against pure threats of evil. Many of its members are clerics and paladins, but, you know, they're open to anybody who may want to join their cause. But they require a large amount of discipline. And the order's distinctly more structured, so when you do join them, they do have bases of operations across the realm. Okay, so just letting you absorb that. They go into the top concern at the moment. It's not about who they are or who they're allied with, but this Cult of the Dragon. In the past, The cult was more active to the east, and it was focused on creating Dracoliches, which is like undead dragons. But recently they've had a shift, and they all came towards the Sword Coast with a new emphasis on living dragons and Tiamat. The cult is on the move, but it's up to something big. Everyone, the Order of the Gauntlet, and the Harpers, and the third allied group that they kind of name dropped, the Emerald Enclave. They want to thwart the cult's plans. So they're gonna kind of extend welcome and say if any of you would like to join their cause. Obviously, Rena doesn't need to choose because she's already part of their one of them. But they can't offer you any pay, and there are no ranks that they can apply to you. They can just say that you are part of them, and that they hopefully soon they will be able to provide some sort of rank. Anybody want to accept?
Who hears him say this and say that there's no money? So just like to himself, but still like out loud because he doesn't have a sense of like a sense of like social awareness. He just says he says it all in different voices once again, but he says no money, no money, and it's more or less him telling him no.
Okay, well, with this, Leosin's going to be like, well, we may not be able to provide you with money directly. Our organization is able to provide in other kinds of ways, in other kinds of aid, as we provided those horses and all of those provisions for you before you journeyed here. So we can provide something, we just can't pay you directly. And with that, they tell you that they have factions all across the realm, everywhere from Nashkel to Candlekeep, all the way to the south of Neverwinter, and even Mirabar to the north. So their reach is far and plentiful. So if you do join them, they'll always have a friend somewhere in the realm of Faerun.
Ooh, this seems like it's right up your alley. Aren't your people normally spies?
I just look at her. I was like, maybe.
Maybe. Okay. Well, they say that Who doesn't have to make a decision now. He can always come back, and as long as he doesn't try to kill any of us, we'll be able to recruit him later. But would anybody else be interested in joining our causes?
How much freedom do you have?
Well,
Do you have to pick one or the other?
they would prefer if you chose one.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like, cause you said they were.
They are both
Tell me.
extending their stuff, but there's no representative to the Emerald Enclave right now. So it's really up to you which group you want to join. The Harpers are not structured. They are like their own thing, right? Like they are a group. They have like a logo, but by the way, their symbol, the symbol that represents them as a people, is a kind of like it's a crescent moon with a harp in it.
Man, I picked like the perfect like thing because I'm all about the moon.
Mm-hmm. So, I'm gonna just tell you what the so the Emerald Enclave, right? Because you can easily just ask this question in case you're curious as to what they are. The Emerald Enclave, they're a far-ranging group that opposes threats to the natural world. They help others survive the many perils of the wild. Their belief system is kind of just like the natural order must be respected and preserved. The forces that seek to upset the natural balance must be destroyed. And the wilderness can be harsh. Not everyone can survive it without assistance. So their ultimate goal is to make sure that they restore and preserve the natural order of all things, keeping the elemental forces of the world in check, keep civilization in the wilderness from destroying one another, and help others survive the perils of that wilderness.
So all about balance.
It's all about balance.
Sounds like it's something perfect for a druid.
Druid or a ranger, yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the symbol for the for these guys is kind of like it's like a sideward thing of the Actually, I think I can just copy this into Discord, so you guys can see the flags. There you go. That's the symbol for the Emerald Enclave.
It's a deer.
It's a deer. It's a sideways deer. Let's see, and let me get you the one for the Harper, so you guys kind of know what it looks like.
You're harping on my heartstrings.
The Harper's has a nice little symbol. And then, obviously, the Order of the Gauntlet is a much more structured group, Tam. So, they're all about discipline. So, their beliefs, faith is the greatest weapon against evil. Faith in one's God, one's friends, and oneself. Battling evil is an extraordinary task that requires extraordinary strength and bravery. Punishing an evil act is just. Punishing an evil thought is not. Their goal is to be armed, vigilant, and ready to smite evil, enforce justice, and enact retribution. This means identifying evil threats such as secretive power groups and inherently evil creatures, watching over them, and being ready to attack the moment they misbehave.
Damn.
Yep.
Seems harsh.
Yeah, better watch out with the necromancer there, Tam.
I don't think once they find out the little things that I've been dabbling in, it probably wouldn't be a good idea to be part of that.
Okay.
It doesn't seem like they allow a lot of personal freedom either. If it's structured, does that mean I have to be somewhere? You know what I mean?
That means if they call upon you, you must respond.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So as you're eyeing Froome, you can see that he's wearing what seems to be a holy symbol. The gauntlet on his right hand bears the symbol of what you can see as a member of Torm, which is one of the groups that kind of focuses here, here in the city, and he has another symbol which he wears around his neck, which is the symbol of the Order of the Gauntlet, which is a gauntlet grasping a sword by the blade. So if you guys don't want to join these groups, you can just say, like, at the moment we'll give it some thought. You guys don't have to join them. They're just extending the opportunity for you to join them. Dan?
As nice as it all seems, I'll give it a thought first, if you don't mind.
Okay, so, and with that, they're just like, okay, well, we're still gonna need your help to try to, like, thwart this cult's shipment of gold.
Well,
Will you join us?
Saying.
Okay, with that,
We'll help you.
with that, Froome's expression changes from that of a serious expression back to that of a very happy-go-lucky human man, and he's just like, my new friends, let us go drink until we don't remember tomorrow. And he's just gonna
to forget my daughter. And I grab one, just start chugging.
your daughter.
My daughter.
And with that, you all head back into the tavern, completely aware of what the stakes are and who's going towards this, and who. And with that, we can end this part of the story, guys.
Okay.
Bed.
That was cool. Fucking,
Troy, you are a fucking genius.
He said I'll be right back, so he's not there right now.
Yeah.
Oh. Damn it! The one time I say something nice and he's gone.
Yeah, that's what happens. He's a dad now.
I gotta find a cool way to do that too. So Lucius is there drinking and he dies of alcohol poisoning. Then comes another guy. Well, but Lucius,
You
he
don't
died of
have to
alcohol
get rid of
poisoning.
your character.
I know, I'm joking.